Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, September 2nd, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Oakland Athletics. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 7 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. And on the thumb, on the left, we have Walter, a.k.a. Logan Gilbert. And on the right, the Athletics' best player, Brent Rooker. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.B. Prophet. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, catching tonight for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, DHing this afternoon, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing first base for Seattle, Justin Turner. Batting sixth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting seventh, playing left field this afternoon for Seattle, Luke Raleigh. Batting eighth, playing third base for the Mariners, Josh Rojas. And batting ninth, playing right field for Seattle, Victor Robles. And on the mound for the Mariners with a 7-10 record, an ERA of 3.09, Logan Gilbert. Let's go, baby. Stetson's finest. We're going to need your A-plus effort today. Hopefully you can go a solid 6 or 7 innings. Let's go, Mariners. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Oakland Athletics. Leading off for the Athletics in right field, Lawrence Butler. Batting second, DHing today for the A's, Brent Rooker. Batting third, playing center field, J.J. Bleday. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching today for the A's, Shea Langeliers. Batting fifth, playing left field, Seth Brown. Batting sixth, playing second base, Zach Geloff. Batting seventh from the Rays, third baseman, Tristan Gray. Batting eighth, playing first base for Oakland, Tyler Nevin. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Oakland, Max Schumann. And on the mound for the Athletics with a 5-3 record, an ERA of 3.21, Osvaldo Vito. And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that not only I've gone through, but I know some of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping a little bit into the mental health darkness, do some basic things, hold yourself accountable, and make an effort. All right. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're eating fast food every day, stop and try to eat a little bit healthier. Okay. And make sure you're listening to at least 30 minutes of music every single day. Spend time with friends, family, and pets. You'd be really surprised if you just do these basic things. It'll help you get your life back on track, and then you can win the day. Let's go, baby. Seattle Mariners versus the Oakland Athletics. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 1 or 2 minutes. Let's go, Mariners. I'm ready, baby. Let's go. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you do have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and repost the post for the game today. That'll help us get a few more people here in the room. And make sure you are smashing that like button within the first hour if you can. It would be greatly appreciated. It hits the algorithm when we do that. And when we can get 20 in the first hour, we're definitely going to hit 30 to 50 overall, and sometimes over 50 if the game gets very close late in the matchup. Daniel in the building, what's good? Scotty Mack in the building, what's good? There we go. I like it. I like it. And I feel like, with the Ducks, I don't really feel, it's obviously it's an execution problem, but I don't think it's really a scheme problem for Oregon. I think it's lack of depth. As I ended up watching the replay of that matchup, I've watched the Ducks for 35 plus years. That might have been the worst opening game I've seen the Ducks play in a long, long time, especially against the opponent that we went against. So, even if you end up cleaning up some of the, penalties that we had, I still, if you ended up watching that USC matchup yesterday against LSU, the best way that I can describe it is Oregon's offensive line this year is like USC's defense last year. Okay, USC's defense this year looks phenomenal, and they ended up playing a fantastic matchup and beating LSU on the road, and even though it was on a neutral site. So I hope the Ducks can get it together. I hope the Mariners can make the playoffs, but again, we can't always get what we want, and it might be one of those years where we're looking at the end of the season thinking, damn, if we could have just beaten the bad teams like we were supposed to, we would have made it, right? And obviously with the Ducks, you got to play a lot more clean, especially once we're going to be getting into the Big Ten schedule after we get into Boise State and then Oregon State. Top of the first, 0-0 Mariners and Oakland Athletics. Osvaldo Beto on the mound, J.P. Crawford in the box. Pitch is high and outside, 1-1 count. Let's go, Mariners. And again, we had like an 80% chance of making the playoffs like 2 months ago. Now we're down to like 6 or 7%. So we need to really get on a heater in September. We're going to have to win like 80 to 82% of the rest of the games. And then we got to hope for an Astros collapse, which is not likely. But at least we want to make sure we finish the season strong. And you never know what could possibly happen, once we get into the middle or end of September. But I'll tell you what, if we could end up sweeping the A's, that'll get us back on track. I'm not saying that we will based on how we played as of late, but that would be a really good start considering we do have the Yankees as well as the Astros this month, and that is not good, at least for us. I mean, it'll be a challenge for us, but you got to be able to play throughout a full season. And again, at the beginning of the season, we look great, but again, we faded after the All-Star break, and it's definitely hurt us and the fan base tremendously. But at least we got rid of Scott Service, we got Dan Wilson, and things are going to get better as the years come along. 3-2 pitch from Beto to JP. JP crushes that one. Fading foul. Come on, JP. Let's go, baby. Let's get off to a good start. And if JP can get on and Julio can get on, that'll be a good start here for the Mariners. Let's go. 3-2 pitch to JP. Take the walk if it's there. There we go. Take the walk. Get someone on base. And JP has struggled a little bit on finding himself after the injury of the broken pinky where he was out about a month and a half. And getting a walk, and getting someone on base early is awesome. I still would rather have Victor Robles batting first, JP batting ninth. even though he's been grandfathered into this role, which I think is not fair. But again, next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Because I think that, if you go over a 10-game span, comparing batters that, hit first or ninth, the person that hits first gets about 10 more at-bats than the person that bats ninth. When you bat ninth, you only might get 3 or 4 attempts. When you end up batting first, you're going to get 4, 5, or 6 in a game. So, again, who's the better hitter right now, J.P. Crawford or Victor Robles? And it's definitely Victor Robles. So I'm not sure if Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez and Manny Acta will make the change, but I know I would in September if I was managing this team. Let's go, Julio. Last 4 games, you got an OBP of 611, 7 hits, 4 walks. You were batting over 500 against the Angels. We need you to come up big, Julio Rodriguez. And I know Edgar has been working with you tremendously, obviously, in the cage. Pitches outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. 31 multi-hit games this season, what leads the team. And Julio hasn't really been that good this season. 259 average, 318 OBP, slugging of 372, and an OPS of 689. And when guys are raking, the OPS is 1,000 or above. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Come on, Julio. We need you, baby. Trident's up. Let's go. Two-two pitch from Vito to Rodriguez. Julio, little blooper, fading foul. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 10 within the first half hour, 20 in the first hour, and then that'll be all smooth and sailing perfectly after that with 30 to 50. Let's go, baby. Top of the first, 0-0 Mariners and A's. If you're just tuning in, J.P. Crawford with a walk from Beto. Next up is Julio Rodriguez, and it is a 2-2 count on J-Rod. Let's go, Julio. I don't even need a home run right here, but getting on base would be huge. 2-2 pitch from Beto to Julio. Julio, slow dribbler towards third base, foul. And we end the season with the A's, so obviously if we can get off to a fast start, not only we can beat them in the beginning of September, but as well as the end of September. But it's going to be key cogs in the wheel, right? Like this guy right here, J-Rod, that needs to come up big. You need to be that cog in that wheel. You need to be that dude. Let's go. Captain Oreo in the building, DX in the building, Scotty Mack in the building, Matt Daniel in the building, Britt in the building. I miss you. Top of the first, 0-0. Runner at first, 2-2 pitch from Beto to Julio. Pitches outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nice patience in the box. Good eyes by Julio. How did you enjoy that NASCAR Cup Series race, Britt? Chase could never really get, himself with the car and the pit stops, so he never really had a chance, but at least he's in the playoff, and hopefully good things are going to come when we go to Atlanta. 3-2 pitch to Julio, right down the middle. Julio takes strike 3, 1 away. Next up, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. And if anyone is due for a big home run and to bring that electricity to the lineup, it is definitely the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We need you, and this is not a request. This is something that needs to be done. Come on, big dumper. Again, if we're going to have any shot, which is very, very small right now, it's only 6 or 7% chance of making the playoffs, when a couple months ago we were at 80 to 82%. A lot can change when you play 162 games in baseball, when you start at the end of April, and then obviously go into the playoffs in October. 204 average, 27 homers, 80 ribbies for Cal. Let's get home run number 28 and 29 here today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. Let's go. Big swing and a miss for Cal. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Martin getting in there, obviously in his last, year. And again, big dumper with a home run. I kind of feel it. 0-2 pitch. Uh-oh. Back. My ESP is strong. See ya. Let's go. My God, am I a fucking time traveler? Let's get it, baby. 2-0 Mariners. And I keep telling y'all, for people that want to doubt me, I'm not going to be right every single day, but there's going to be 2 or 3 moments in every single stream, every single day, where we're going to predict the future. Bang, bang, let's go. Bring that electricity. I know who's overdue for a home run. It's Big Dumper. Let's go. Hell yeah. And again, when you watch this team as often as I do, you kind of have an idea of when a big thing is going to happen. And normally Cal will homer a little bit later, in the 7th inning and beyond. But he does hit homers from time to time from the 1st and the 6th inning. But he's been really ice cold as of late. So something had to give. And we didn't get it in that Angel series. But here we go. Trident's up right out of the gates. A 2-run blast by my boy, Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh, the best player on the Mariners and our MVP here in 2024. Fuck yeah. Next up, DHing today in the cleanup spot, Randy Arozarena. Taking a strike down the middle, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go. Hell yeah, baby. Let's go. You know it. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. Hell yeah. $5 holla. Let's get it. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. We're at 5, 95 to go. Thank God we got off to a good start there, and JP got on with the walk. Big swing and a miss for Randy, and he strikes out swinging as Julio struck out looking. 2 away. But again, a 1-0 lead is great. But as anyone knows, when you can get 2 or 3 right out of the gates in the first 3 or 4 innings, it really does set the tone on, hey, we're coming to play some ball here today. Nice to see. Next up, first baseman, it's Big Red, Justin Turner. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Pitches outside, but called strike. Terrible ump. Come on, my guy. 251 average, 9 homers, and 44 ribbies for JT. We saw horrible umping in that last series against the Angels. Hopefully, it'll be slightly better here with the A's. Pitches high and inside, called ball, which it should have been. 1 ball and 1 strike. Let's go. One pitch. Slow dribbler for JT. Just stays fair. Throw to first. Got him. The damage was done. We couldn't get anything out of Julio, Randy, or JT. But hey, JP Crawford with a walk. I like the plate discipline. And then Cal Raleigh, again, we're not going to have ESP on every single play, and we're not going to be right all the time. But I like being right more times than not. Way to bring that electricity, and maybe we can get 2 home runs. And I don't want to be greedy, but usually if Cal homers early, there might be a good chance that he homers somewhere between the 4th and 6th inning. Let's go, Big Dumper. Way to be. Sometimes you just got to talk shit into existence. The sports gods always listen. They're paying attention. Sometimes you just got to think it, you got to speak it into existence, and then it fucking happens. Nice job, Big Dumper. Back, back, back. Yes, sir. Gone. Let's go. 2-0 Mariners. And on the mound for the M's, it's Walter. 7-10 record, 3.09 ERA, even though he should have probably a 10-7 record if he had some run support. It is Logan Gilbert. Let's go, baby. Stetson's finest. We need you to pitch 6 or 7 solid innings today. Let's go, Logan. Now let's get into the starting lineups here for the Oakland A's in the bottom of the first. Leading off for the A's in right field, Lawrence Butler. Batting second, their best player on the team. Obviously, we put him on the thumb for a reason. DHing for Oakland, Brent Rooker. He would have made an amazing Seattle Mariner, but they weren't giving him up. And batting third, center fielder, J.J. Bleday. Let's go, baby. And Captain, let me know what you want to see for photos. I got you, baby. Reflect in the building. Let's go. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $5 holla. We're at 10. 90 to go. Let's go, baby. Cal was due. You speak it into existence, and there you go. We got a nice 2-run bomb by Cal Raleigh early, and if Logan can pitch a solid 6-7 innings, we should be able to win this game and hopefully get some good momentum as we go further in the season. Now, are the Mariners going to make the playoffs this year? More times, if you're really looking at the schedule, especially with the Astros and the Yankees this month, the answer is no. We blew our opportunity. If we would have played better baseball in July and August, we would have been able to make it. But unless, the whole world crumbles in front of Houston and they have mad injuries and they get on a big losing streak, then we might be able to take advantage if we sweep the A's and we start overachieving in September. But again, we had an 82% chance to make the playoffs 2 months ago, month and a half ago. Now we're only down to about 6-7%. So it's not really looking too good. I mean, we're not fully eliminated yet, but again, all we can do is control what we do and then hope that Astros there in Houston struggle just a little bit. Let's go. Reflect, you got the best running back in the country? What's going on with that, man? I watched that USC game. USC's defense is back, beating LSU. The Big Ten ended up going 13-1 or 14-1 over the weekend. Butler pops up. Julio's there to the warning track. There we go, one away. But it shows you that the Pac-12 teams, we're definitely going to do our thing. And even guys like Cam Ward, the Washington State Coug vet, that was in there and that was on Miami, was saying, the crowds and the energy is much better in the Pac-12 than it was there in Miami when they ended up playing Florida and beating the brakes off the Gators. So I feel like the Pac-12, even though it doesn't exist anymore, doesn't really get the proper love. And then if you look at the Big 12, who are the 3 best teams in the Big 12? They're all former Pac-12 teams. So the Pac-12, obviously severely underrated. It doesn't exist anymore, but you will still feel our presence in the Big 10, in the Big 12, and in the other conferences as well. Let's go, baby. All right, I'll get you some more cows, Captain. Let's go. Reflect in the building. What's good? Bottom of the first, 2-0 Mariners. Brent Rooker jammed up. Oh, didn't get to that ball quick enough. Careful with sliding there, Logan. Let's go, baby. Brent Rooker, back-to-back 30-plus home run season. Fantastic player. Bottom of the first, 2-0 Mariners. Cal Raleigh with a 2-run blast in the top of the first. JP got on with a walk to give us that 2-0 early lead, and we desperately need that. One away, nobody on, and we have a 2-1 count from Gilbert to Rooker. Season versus the Mariners, 273 average, only 1 homer, but 3 key ribbies against us. 2-1 pitch, right down the middle to Rooker, big swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Athletics' best player. And Brent was so good early in the year that he was actually ranked in the top 10 out of all players in baseball with guys like Ohtani and Judge based on his statistics. The guy is a gamer. 2-2 pitch, check swing, did he go? Got him to chase on some garbage. There we go. Nice job, Logan Gilbert. First K for our ace, Walter. Let's go. Great job by Cal. Next up, center fielder, J.J. Bleday. Bleday, nice hit into right field. Come on, Robles, get that. There we go. Stand-up double by J.J. Bleday. Nice job. I see you, J.J. Next up, catcher for the Athletics, Shea Langeliers. I really like this batting helmet and jersey combo. I like the colors. It's not like, the whites, they don't look good. That definitely gives you the vibe of Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire, which is the traditional whites. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my love for the Oregon Ducks and that green apple. But I really like that color combo with this particular jersey set. 2 outs with the runner on second. Shea swings at the first pitch, popped up a mile. Cal is there, throws off the mask. There we go. And we leave one stranded. J.J. Bleday there at second base. Nice defense there by big dumper Cal Raleigh. And let's get into the top of the second. Let's go, baby. Great start for the Mariners. Let's get some Cal Raleigh photos up here for Captain Oreo. Reflect if there's anything that you want to be able to see, you let me know. And it's about damn time for Cal. We all love him and we know how great he is defensively, but there has been a little bit of a drought and he hasn't really been playing that well in the box. And so, I kind of felt, he's due. And a lot of times, I think the players feel it too, that they know that, man, I should have hit a home run by now. It's been a little while. And Cal came through. JP was obviously patient in the box, didn't swing at the garbage, got a walk. Obviously, Julio struck out looking, right? Then Cal comes up and blasts that 2-run homer, and we're feeling pretty good. And again, the magic number will be 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and obviously we have a hard time typically getting to that number, but hopefully we can do it here tonight. Let's go, baby. Oh my God, it was amazing, man. I watched the NASCAR Cup Series. They're in Darlington, but I was watching that USC LSU game, and I'll be honest, that was one of the best games all weekend. You had 2 ranked teams. They were going at each other, and they have athletes out there. And, I'm going to be honest, if USC was on the schedule this year, they would beat the brakes off of Oregon more than likely. The athletes that they have, the improved defense is very, very clear. And, again, the best comparison that I have is that USC's defense from last year was terrible, right? Oregon's offensive line this year is terrible, right? And, obviously, USC improved this year, and hopefully Oregon can improve the offensive line next year. But it might be a very, very long year for the Ducks. And, what a catch in foul territory there by Gray. 1 away. And I'm hoping that, and I don't really think it's not necessarily just, cleaning up the penalties. I think it's a lack of depth. We don't have the athletic receivers. We don't really have those athletic running backs, athletic offensive linemen. And again, we recruited really well with a lot of 3-star, 4-star, and 5-star guys and NIL guys and transfer guys in the portal. But if you watch that, matchup over the weekend, it wasn't good. And again, this might be one of the weaker teams that's overrated, in my opinion. And again, I've been watching since the 80s. So again, I want the team to do good, but I almost feel by getting that preseason rank of number 3, I would have rather been ranked lower at like 12 or 13, because obviously when you get ranked that high, the expectations are natty or bust, and we're not going to be anywhere near a natty this year. Top of the second, 2-0 Seattle. 2-1 count to Luke Raleigh. Big swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes as Polo popped out, obviously, at that previous at-bat. Let's go, Luke. We're going to need you today. Bring your hustle and bring your heart. Let's go, baby. Top of the second, 2-0 Seattle. Nobody on. 2-2 pitch from Beto to Raleigh. Oh, what an athletic catch in left field by Seth Brown, looking like Julio. 2 away. Wow. The athletes are coming out on display here this Monday afternoon. Wow. My God. I mean, a couple of these, base knocks would have easily been doubles. Jesus. Next up, third baseman, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Yeah, USC's defense, I can't even, come to terms on how bad they were last year and how good they looked, this year. But again, sometimes you need a coordinator change. Sometimes you need just better players. Sometimes it's a scheme, there's a number of reasons. But again, I know that they put in the right pieces there. And I know Megan was very stressed out probably in that game. as well as every Trojan fan, but it kind of felt that they were going to win that game, even though it was very back and forth. And Moss, their quarterback, that guy's the real deal, and again, we saw him in the bowl game last year throw 6 tutties, so you kind of already knew that he was going to be good. But I was very impressed with both quarterbacks for LSU and USC in that matchup last night. Very entertaining matchup. Top of the second, 2-0 Seattle. Nobody on with 2 outs. Beto, 1-2 pitch to Rojas. Pitch is inside, almost hits Rojas. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, but you can't ignore the past and sweep it under the rug. You're acting like, Oregon is all good and we're going to make the Natty and win it. You have to understand, when a team isn't looking good. It's like you can still acknowledge that this is our favorite team, but we can't act like the team didn't look good week 1. And again, I've been watching this team since the 80s, and I haven't seen a team like this that was so highly touted and highly overrated. And again, the athletes are not there. And like I said, it's not just a scheme or cleaning up the penalties. The personnel, we don't have the depth. We don't have the right players in place to be successful long term. Now, if we end up, going 10-2 or 9-3, all right, but again, when you're ranked number 3 in the country, the goal is to go, 11-0, 10-1, go to the Natty and win it all. But again, just because if we clean up some of the penalties that we ended up having on the offensive line, that's not going to solve a lot of the problems with, Dylan Gabriel's mechanics, the lack of athleticism at running back and wide receiver. And the only really good thing that we can say is the defense looked good. The defense looked good, for the Oregon Ducks. But other than that, a lot of big question marks. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if we end up dropping a couple games. I would assume that we'll be able to beat Boise State as well as Oregon State. But if we play like we did week 1, there is a good chance that we might drop one of those 2 games. And again, I think that we're much better than Oregon State on paper. But again, there's a lot of problems that need to be cleaned up. And I think it's a depth issue more than a scheme or cleaning up the penalty issue. And if you don't have depth, you can change the scheme all the fuck you want, but you're not going to be able to win the big games against the good opponents if you don't have good players. And a lot of our really good players are in the NFL. And that is 100% true, and you can focus on old Boise highlights, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be running the same kind of plays in this upcoming matchup against Oregon. What they did last year is last year. It's like comparing Oregon Ducks from last year to this year. It's a completely different team with a completely different look. And that's just, it is what it is. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Seattle. Let's go, Mariners. Five games back. Let's go. Next up for the A's, left fielder Seth Brown. And you have to understand also, too, there's going to be a lot of fans that are out there, that get over emotional when their team wins or loses, right? But we don't do that here. So if you hear me, saying something that's concerning, you better take it as like a red flag and that it's real, because we don't go, like when the Mariners were doing good earlier in the year, did you hear me saying that we're going to go to the World Series and win it all? It's like we don't overreact here on the channel, and again, a lot of sports fans love to overreact after a couple weeks, or halfway through the season, or based on a big loss or a big win, but again, we call it how we see it here. So if we're definitely addressing concerns, that should be a big red flag. If we talk about it here, it's real. It's not something that's just made up. This is like a very big, concern that is going to be, something to look at, not only for next week, but for the whole season. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Seattle, little dribbler there for Seth Brown, one away. Next up, second baseman, Zach Geloff. I disagree, bro. Working harder and the right scheme doesn't accomplish depth on the chart. You explain to me how those things are going to affect the depth on the depth chart. If you don't have the athletes, you can change up the scheme and you can work harder, but that doesn't mean you're going to win. You have to have the bodies there. It's like USC. They could have tried harder last year on defense. They didn't have the talent on defense to change it. and obviously now things are a little bit better based off talent, people coming in, and it is what it is. That's how sports goes, man. Not every year is going to be our year. But again, I've been watching football and sports a lot longer than you, bro. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Seattle, 3-0 count to Geloff, right down the middle for a strike, 3-1 count. And trust me, it's like, I don't want the Ducks to play bad. I don't want them to lose, But again, you can't ignore what is on paper and what is on film. Not good. I mean, you're acting like we won 24-14 against Utah or something. It was fucking Idaho. Not even a Division I team. Not good. Bottom of the second, 2-0 Seattle. Nobody on, one away. Logan Gilbert on the mound. Zach Geloff in the box. Three-two pitch. Got him. Let's go. Nice job, Logan. Next up for the A's from the Tampa Bay Rays, third baseman Tristan Gray. Gray fouls that one off. 0-1 count. Highest graded running back over the college football weekend. Guess who it was? Jonah Coleman, Huskies. And I kind of wish we had a Coleman on the Ducks right now. We're looking very, very thin at running back and wide receiver. Not a good look. Let's go, Logan. 22 pitches in. O2 pitch from Gilbert to Gray. Pitch is low and into the dirt. Back into the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. That one chopped behind the plate, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tristan Gray. One-two pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And we're 2 away from double digits. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're at 8. We want to make sure we get to 20 in the first hour. If you haven't done it yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour here this afternoon. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Nice job by Logan Gilbert. There we go. Nice job, Logan. Way to be. End of the second inning, 2-0 Mariners. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle in the top of the third. Next up for Seattle, right fielder in the 9-hole, Victor Robles. Batting second, 0-for-0 with a run and a base on ball. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, center fielder, 0-for-1 with a K, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Yeah, but you're acting like that. You're taking it like you can't handle the fact that we're overrated. You can't handle the fact that the team isn't good. You have to understand that you're not going to always get what you want. With your favorite teams. And again, to act like everything's okay when it's not, you're in denial mode. I want to win more than you do, for this team. I've been watching since the 80s, bro. I used to watch when they fucking were winning one game a season, so if there's a fucking problem, there's a problem. You can't just sweep it under the rug and act like, it was just a one-time thing, or, he's overreacting. If we talk about it on this channel, it's a fucking huge red flag on where the team is going. And if you want to watch the games and then the outcome ends up being where we end up being like 8-4 and 9-3, and then at the end of the year you want me to tell you I told you so, we can go that route. But again, you can clean up the offensive line, you can bring some guys in, you can clean up the penalties, but at the end of the day, we're overrated. Number 3, we're not like Texas or Georgia or Ohio State. And Gabriel is nowhere near being as good as Bo, and we don't have running backs like Bucky, and and the offensive line and the wide receiver. I mean, there's a lot of fucking problems. At least the defense is good, but you got to understand, you can't be in denial mode, just because you like the Ducks, Matt, right? And you've been watching them for a couple years. I've been watching them for fucking like 30 plus, right? And again, a lot of Duck fans wouldn't even be Duck fans today if they were winning 1 or 2 games a year. Like I said, we've been watching it where they were terrible, and then they would go from 1 win to 5 wins to 7 wins to 8 wins. But, don't be in denial mode. It's all right. Not every year is going to be our year, And again, you have to build the right way. And obviously we didn't get enough wide receivers, running backs, and offensive line to make a deep run. We're overrated. It is what it is, man. You can either accept it or not, that's just how it goes, man. And that's what happens when you get ranked that high. Number 3, the expectations get higher and higher, not only for the coaching staff, but for the fans. And, we got bamboozled. We thought we were going to be like we were last year, and clearly we are not. Top of the 3rd, 2-0 Seattle. Runner at second with no outs. 1-1 pitch to JP, incoming from Beto. DX with a 5-er. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let's go. You have to understand also, too, it's not like I'm saying this as like a Beaver fan or a Husky fan that hates the Ducks, and I'm just trying to be an asshole and, just trying to rub it in and this and that. Like, we talk about all the teams here, and again, we're going to credit and give credit where credit's due. But also, if there's going to be problems and, red flags, we have to call a spade, whether that's on our own guys or on the opponent, We don't overreact on the channel. We call it how we see it. But again, sometimes, people are not going to like what the words that are coming out, But if the words that are coming out are true, you either accept it or you go into denial mode, And that's just the plain truth of it all. Top of the 3rd, 2-0 Seattle. Runner at second, 2-2 pitch to JP. Pitches high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. PJ in the building. What's good? Go Mariners. Let's go, baby. 3-2 pitch. JP pops it up. Nevin is there. 1 away. And honestly, what it kind of feels like to me is like when we had Helfrich, and we ended up going through, and the Ducks have this reputation, since Mike Bellotti, and then Chip Gully. And then obviously after you went off of Chip, you knew it wasn't going to be the same, but you knew at some point if we could get the right guy, or right guys coming in, that we could maybe turn it around. But, I'm very shocked on the recruiting. There should have been more of a focus on some of these players and positions that were obviously a glaring need. Now, the defense is good, and I like that part, but, man, offense looks stinky bad. I mean, Dylan Gabriel can go, 42 for 48 or 40 for 48, but when your QBR is like 50 and you have no passes more than 25 yards, it's a fucking problem. Julio pops that one. Foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, well, we're all going to support no matter what. But again, being ranked 3rd and realizing in the first game that we're not championship material, it hurts, But again, it's not like you're going to be able to, change a couple penalties on the line and scheme, and then all of a sudden we're going to go undefeated the rest of the year. It's a lack of depth. That's the problem. We don't have athletes at running back, wide receiver, and the O-line, and you're going to get fucking beat the fuck up. I mean, if Idaho can get 3 sacks on us and we gave up 5 all year, I mean, what the fuck does that say? That we're not good. But again, I mean, I hope that we win as many as we can, but this will definitely be a learning, year for the Oregon Ducks, and hopefully they'll be able to recruit the better players that are needed. Otherwise, it'll happen again next year. We don't want to be that overrated team. We want to make sure that we finish strong. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man, Trojans look good, Megan. I'm a little jealous. Your defense last year was bad, and that's what the offensive line for Oregon looks like this year. But your defense this year and against LSU, man, you guys look amazing. And I would assume that if we played you guys on the schedule, you would beat the shit out of us this year. You guys look like you're going to win 10 games this year. Congratulations. Tagging up, sprinting home, save. There we go. Victor Robles, 3-0 Mariners. And I know that must have been pretty stressful, but Moss looked good. Obviously LSU's quarterback looked pretty good as well. Lots of athletes on both sides of the ball. But again, wide receivers, defense, so many things look so improved for the Trojans. Congratulations on that huge win yesterday. And I told you, I'll be rooting for you guys. Anytime that's a former Pac-12 team, anywhere in the Big 10 or the Big 12, I'll be rooting. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack bang bang, $2 holla. Congrats. And I sincerely mean that too. We're at 17, 83 to go. Yeah, I don't know if I would have done that. I don't know if I would have exposed myself as one of the only Trojan fans in an LSU chat. I probably just would have watched it by myself and not been in a chat. But you're a very brave woman to handle that kind of shit talking and criticism. But you ended up having the last laugh at the end of the night. So congrats with that. Popped up. There we go. Butler is there. But the damage is done by Victor Robles. 3-0 Mariners. And a couple big catches. Like, obviously that one-handed grab like Odell Beckham Jr., incredible, and again, you could definitely see the athletes and the confidence and the swagger. But again, we already knew Moss was a great quarterback, 6 touchdowns in the bowl game last year. We knew that they had athletic running backs and wide receivers, no doubt, right? But the thing that surprised everyone in that game was, damn, USC's defense looks night and day compared to last year. Last year, the defense was absolutely terrible, right? And any USC or college football fan, would mention that. The offense was good, but the defense couldn't stop anybody, couldn't stop a nosebleed. But this year, it was a completely different vibe, aura, swagger, and they were flying around to the ball. They were wrapping up. It was gang tackling. And again, anytime you can play a team that's higher ranked than you by 10 spots, 23-13, and even though it was on a neutral site, but then you ended up winning that game, defense came up to play, and I know it's going to be more enjoyable for you. And let's be honest, based on how you guys played, I mean, we have a ways to go in the season, but I wouldn't be surprised if USC finishes higher than Oregon at the end of the year. It might end up being Ohio State 1, USC number 2. And now if they can't have any major injuries to Moss, and obviously some of the key components on defense, but, to play like you did against a team like LSU, who's a good team as well, I was very, very impressed. Congratulations on that. And I'll definitely be watching a lot of USC matchups. And Jonah Coleman, number 1 ranked running back out of all college running backs over the weekend. And we saw a few college running backs, like even Boise State's. There's guys that are going to be putting up 3, 4, 5, 6 touchdowns on the ground, or maybe a couple through the air. I really wish that we had some of these USC and Husky players on Oregon, because I'm very jealous on some of these athletes that you guys have. And congratulations on your 2 doves for both of you. Reflect with the Huskies, and then Megan with her Trojans. Bottom of the third, 3-0 Seattle. Next up for the A's, Tyler Nevin. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. Good start for the Mariners here. Let's go. .200 average, 6 homers, and 17 ribbies for Nevin. Dribbler towards third base at foul. Behind in the count 0-2. Oh, man. For real, though. I got a chance to watch a good chunk of that game, and I watched all of the USC game versus LSU as well. So I love being able to watch as many games as possible. Got him! That was definitely outside about 2 feet, but we get the strike 3 call. Nice job, Logan Gilbert, even though that was a bad call by that ump. There we go. We'll take it, though. As long as they're going to be doing it on both sides, calling it right down the middle, both ends, but we'll see. Another punch out by Logan Gilbert. Next up for the A's shortstop, Max Schumann. All right, we need 7 more likes to get to 20. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're at 13. We need 7 more to hit 20, and then we'll be on our way to get to 30 to 40. 231 average, 7 homers, and 32 ribbies for Max Schumann. Well, I don't think anyone anticipated USC's defense being that good. You know, we knew the offense would be able to hang with LSU's, but, you know, as soon as you watch that first quarter, I was like, wow, how drastically improved is this? I mean, to go from one of the worst defenses in college football to one of the better defenses that I saw over the weekend, you know. And I hope you guys have some amazing success. And again, you know, it may not be as long for the Huskies and the Trojans to make their mark, you know, and obviously Oregon is severely overrated, and we'll see what Michigan does and the rest of the teams in the Big Ten. But hopefully we'll be able to go into, you know, next year with more of a focus on, you know, getting guys in the portal and drafting offensive linemen, better kickers in special team, and obviously, you know, getting guys that are better athletes at running back and wide receiver. And again, you know, I know Dillon Gabriel did his thing from Oklahoma, but I don't really like him, you know, from what I saw, you know. And again, hopefully it'll be better as the season goes on, you know. But again, I like lefties a lot, but he's a shot put lefty like Tim Tebow, not a smooth lefty, you know, like Vic or Michael Penix Jr. And he didn't really show that he can sling it and fling it. And obviously that was a big part of the offensive line sucking and having some guys injured and not having Jackson Powers Johnson. But you know, I need to be able to see you rip it. And, you know, hopefully we'll be able to see that against Boise State and Oregon State, as well as some of the other opponents, you know, throughout the year. But very suspect, that offense, you know, especially with that preseason ranking of number 3. You know, we probably should have been ranked like 13th, not 3rd, you know, and then things would have been a little bit better. But again, anytime you get ranked in 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to get every team's best effort. You know, they're going to give you their natty effort against you. And sometimes you live up to the expectations, Georgia, Ohio State, Texas, and sometimes you're overrated, unfortunately, like the Oregon Ducks this year in 2024. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Lawrence Butler. Yeah, Big Ten looks like it's the best conference in football this year, especially with the addition of the Huskies, right? The Ducks, even though we didn't look good, the Trojans, and then the Bruins. So, again, you know, we always talk about how great the SEC is, but I think the Big Ten is about to take over. 1-2 pitch to Butler. Got a little piece of that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hopefully Cal's okay. Well, rankings are typically, you know, they come out from like the Associated Press and then like the coaches poll, and then we get deeper on with like the committee, you know, once we go to this, you know, 12-team playoff for the very first year. But it's based on, you know, transfer portal, you know, guys that ended up, you know, getting 3-star, 4-star, 5-star athletes, recruiting, and also like who you're bringing back, you know, to the team. And, you know, sometimes you can lose a lot of NFL players and then you're still okay because, you know, you're recruiting so well. But if you end up having some of the best players in this, you know, generation, you know, that end up all going to the NFL, sometimes what's left over, the scraps, aren't as good, you know, as people thought originally. And yeah, Dillon Gabriel is a name, you know, but I was definitely disappointed, even though you can still go 40 for 48, 42 for 48. But when your QBR is 50, you don't throw the ball downfield because of that offensive line. I need to be able to see a little bit more, and I need to see him use his legs. You know, you need to be like a Tebow and be able to be a dual threat. If you just stay in the pocket, it's going to be a long year. Back, off the wall. Nice job by Lawrence Butler. Stand-up double by Butler. Nice job. LB, I see you. Nice job. Big double to right. Off the wall. Next up, DHing for the A's, Brent Rooker. Yeah, and you got to understand, most Oregon fans are going to be in denial, and most Oregon fans are going to, just sweep it under the rug and act like, everything's okay. It takes a real hardcore fan to be able to admit, sometimes that, the rankings were wrong and the team isn't as good. Nice hit towards third base. That's a big RBI. Brent Rooker, 3-1 Seattle. Like I said, the last thing that I want to do is to see some of my favorite teams not play well. But, another thing about this channel that I always will make sure, we're going to keep it real and genuine no matter who we talk about, whether it's my favorite teams or the opposing teams. Again, you have to keep it honest and real and genuine. You can't sweep things under the rug and act like things are 100% okay when they're fucking not. And again, I've been watching this team since the mid-'80s, and it kind of reminds me of like Helfrich's first year, and that wasn't very good. So, and again, I do like Dan Lanning, and there's a lot of players on the team I do enjoy and I do like. But we'll see how the rest of the season goes. And hopefully next year will be better, and hopefully we won't be ranked as fucking high, because we definitely shouldn't have been ranked third. We should have been ranked probably somewhere between 10 and 20. But again, the hype train with Nike, Phil Knight, the money, the uniforms, the swag, bringing in Dylan Gabriel. I mean, everyone was on the hype train, including myself. And then it took about a quarter and a half to realize, fuck, we're overrated. We are not this good. And it takes a real, honest human being to be able to admit that we're not good. And again, I want us to be good, but I can't just act like we didn't play good and we got a lot of fucking problems. Shows you how good we were last year. Same thing with the Huskies. Sometimes you have a lot of guys that go to the NFL, and then your leftovers, even though we love leftovers like in Thanksgiving, sometimes the leftovers, for football teams, you get exposed. You just don't expect to get exposed by a team like fucking Idaho. If we ended up getting exposed by Boise State, so be it, but not Idaho, not like an FCS team. Golly. Pitch low into the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes to JJ Bleday. But I'm still going to root, and watch every single game. We'll be doing the Oregon and Boise State stream at 7 on Peacock this Saturday, but sometimes the writing is on the wall. You just have to be able to read it and understand it and acknowledge it, and just understand that it is what it is. So 2-2 pitch. Pitch is outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But you got to also admit, though, too, Megan, even if you're ranked 23rd or, going into the season, not anybody on planet Earth knew that the USC defense was going to look this good compared to last year. Going from one of the worst in college football and actually playing really, really good defense and against a really, really good team right away, right out of the gate. There's not one USC fan that could have predicted that, let alone a college football fan. So I'm happy for you. But it's not like anyone anticipated them being that good on that side of the ball. Offensively, yes, but defensively, no. And obviously, it's always nice to be surprised in a positive way instead of being surprised in a negative way like us and the Ducks and obviously that offensive line. So, but it looks like you guys might end up being a team that could win 10 wins. And if you guys keep playing like that, you guys will finish in second place in the Big Ten. Now, there's still a long, part of the season to go, so we'll have to see where it goes. But I really enjoyed what I saw out there on the field. Yeah, same thing with UW too. And obviously now it's a harsh reality to realize, that sometimes you have to, look at the roster. Sometimes you have to, play those first couple games to see if you are on the hype train or if you're going to be off the hype train. And this might be the most overrated Oregon Duck team of all time. It's painful to say, but at least I'm honest about it and, being real about it. I know most Duck fans are still, they're not being able to understand what they saw over the weekend because we're not used to seeing our team play like that, especially, after the Chip Kelly era. We've actually turned the corner. Now, this was like 20, 30 years ago, back like in the Bellotti era, that's something else, but Shea Langoliers back. Yes, sir. Gone. Wow. 3-run blast by Shea. 4-3 Athletics. Damn. Oh, my. JJ Blade loves it. Shea loves it. 104.4 exit velo. 4-3 Athletics in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. That fucking hurt. What electricity and what a home run by Shea Langoliers. Next up, left fielder Seth Brown. Right there on the edge with the strike to Seth Brown. Well, you got to think there's going to be 12 teams in the playoff, right? So, if you play like you played against LSU, you'll be in the playoff. You'll be one of the top 12, especially, if you end up going like 10-1, or something of that nature, 10-1 and 11-1, something like that. If you end up going like that, you're going to be right there with Ohio State or right below them. So, bottom of the third, 4-3 A's. Big swing and a miss by Seth Brown right there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All right, no worries. Well, yeah, DX, that's a given. USC is better than Iowa, right? It's like Iowa can be your favorite team, and they scored some points on offense, which is good, and they're traditionally known for defense and tight ends and sometimes offensive line. But I don't think anyone has penciled in Iowa to be in the playoff this year. I mean, in the Big Ten, it's going to be very, very competitive, especially with those 4 Pac-12 teams that have been added on. Now, if you didn't have those 4 Pac-12 teams added on, then Iowa and Wisconsin and some of those middle bubble teams would be better. But since we came in, obviously those teams like Iowa and Wisconsin are going to feel it the most. But I do wish the best for Iowa, for you and Sarah. But I think it's a given that USC is going to be better than Iowa. Based on their quarterback play and if the defense can keep playing like they did over the weekend. But who knows? Maybe Iowa will be better than Oregon. I mean, the way that we played, I don't even know who we can beat based on what I saw this weekend. End of the third, 4-3 A's. Big 3-run blast by Shea Langoliers. I wasn't expecting that on Logan Gilbert, but I do love this helmet and jersey combo with the pants. And again, Shea Langoliers comes up to play. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. Come on, Seattle. We need to fight back, baby. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-1 with a K. DHing for the Mariners, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 0-for-1, first baseman Justin Turner. And batting third, 0-for-1, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Mariners. Let's go, baby. We need 6 more likes to be able to get to 20. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Now we need 4 more. Thank you to those 3 people that just did. Now we're at 16. 4 more to get to 20. Let's get there. Let's get it, baby. Yeah, very underrated, to be able to have those individuals there. And you might have the best running back in the country. I can't wait to be able to see more and more out of Jonah Coleman. I'm going to be definitely watching a lot of his games. Yeah. Well, you ended up doing that in the first game, so obviously a good start, right? First pitch to Randy for a strike. Second pitch to Randy. Another strike. Come on, Randy. 0-2 pitch. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Randy, swing the damn bat. Come on. My God. One away. Next up, first baseman Justin Turner, who ended up having 2 home runs 2 games ago. Let's go, JT. That program went downhill, based on his recruiting, and based on his method to his madness, thinking that, the NIL stuff doesn't matter, thinking that, recruiting, and the transfer portal isn't as important as it really is. And obviously we've seen Clemson scale back, quite a bit with Dabo. Dabo at one point when you had the players, like Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence, yeah, you were on top of the world. But since then, and you're not getting those same type of players, you're starting to go instead of being considered an elite coach, now you're average. He's not really that good anymore, and I think that's fair to say. Left field, Seth Brown, 2 away. But recruiting is everything. You got to make sure you have the athletes there. And obviously, the better athletes that you have, the better you're going to do. You have penalties and you have different scheme changes on offense and defense, and you have to have good play callers on the offense and defensive side of the ball. But the bottom line is, especially in college football, you need athletes. You need talent, And there's going to be some guys that will overachieve and play better than maybe their initial ranking, a 1-star athlete or I didn't get any offers and then now I'm a starter kind of guy, but you need ballers, and you need those, really key athletes in those key positions. Otherwise, you're going to fall back to the teams that actually do have those players. 1-1 pitch to Polo, showing bunt. And that one goes towards third base, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the fourth, 4-3, Athletics. Come on, Polo. I don't. I'm glad you do, but I don't. And this is the first time, in many, many years that I've seen a team that Oregon has put out that looks like this. It's not like they look like this every single year. This is the first time in a while, maybe since the Helfrich era, that we've looked like this. And, it's not like I'm going to disown them. They're not going to it's not like I'm going to stop watching the games, But again, when you get ranked that high and you're overranked and you get exposed in game number 1, it is what it is. Maybe we should have been ranked 13th or 23rd. But the simple fact of getting Dylan Gabriel and the hype train, everyone bought in and, we got exposed. And we'll see how the rest of the year goes. But if we play, like we played in game number 1, we're only going to be like 8-4, 9-3. I just don't really see us, being able to go, 11-1 or 10-2, not with what I saw on the field. 1-2 pitch. Polo popped up. JJ Blade is there. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-3 Athletics. Next up for the A's, 0-1 with a K, second baseman, Zach Geloff. Batting second, 0-1 with a K, third baseman, Tristan Gray. And batting third, 0-1 with a K, first baseman, Tyler Nevin. Let's go Mariners. Yeah. USC and the Washington Huskies should have been ranked higher. Oregon should have been ranked lower, you know. And it's not, you know, and it's not like, you know, I want to say all these things about my favorite team. But again, to act like it's not happening or it's not reality, that's a problem. You know, not every year is going to be your year. You know, not every year is going to be the year that you want or you think that we deserve, you know. And again, you know, we're going to always have the money and we're always going to have the cleanest jersey combos and the helmets and all that. But at the end of the day, coaching is everything. And then you have to have athletes and you have to be able to have the right guys together. And when you don't, sometimes, unfortunately, you get exposed. And we'll see how it goes because we don't get USC on the schedule this year, but I wish we did to be able to see how that would turn out. And, you know, we'll see what the Huskies bring to the table. You know, and obviously a big reason why of not being ranked I feel, with the media was, you know, Michael Penix Jr., right? Culp. Right, you know, Jalen McMillan, Rome Odunze, like all the big name guys were gone, so they didn't think that the depth was there. And then obviously bringing in Jonah Coleman from Arizona, obviously people were sleeping on that, thinking it wasn't that big of a deal. Clearly it is, and one of the best running backs in the country. You know, so very excited to see the progression of Jonah Coleman. I'll be watching Husky games, you know, solo just for him. You know, obviously I'll be watching the whole team, but. You know, sometimes the media gets it right, and sometimes the media is dead fucking wrong. Bottom of the fourth, 4-3 A's. 0-1 pitch from Gilbert to Geloff. Little dribbler towards third base is foul. Yeah, I had to send you that post as soon as I saw that. Oh, 2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brandon in the building. What's good? One-two pitch. Geloff. Rojas is there. Throw to first. 1 away. Happy Labor Day. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, third baseman, formerly of the Tampa Bay Rays, Tristan Gray. Oh, nice. Let's see where we're at right now. All right, we're at 17. We need 3 more to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Now we're at 18. 2 more to get to 20, and then we're good to go. And we can get to the next goal of getting to 30. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the fourth, 4-3 A's. Nobody on, 1 out. 0-1 pitch from Gilbert to Gray. Big swing and a miss. Finding the count 0-2. Come on, Mariners. Dig deep. Oh, 2 pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If you're just tuning in, top of the first, Cal Raleigh homered to right. JP got a walk, 2-0 Mariners. Then in the top of the third, Julio hit a sac fly to right. Robles scored, 3-0 Mariners. Rooker doubled to left. Butler scored. Then that made it 3-1 Seattle. Then later on in that inning, Shea Langoliers homered to left, 400 plus feet. Rooker and JJ Bleday were on board, and now we have a 4-3 score. So really the Cal Raleigh 2-run blast got us off to a good foot and a good start, but then Shea Langoliers gave us the finger and said, hey, not today. And then right now we're down by a run, and hopefully we can still, getting to that 5+ run number, which is very difficult for Seattle as of late. Nice pitch. Got him. Fifth strikeout for our guy, Walter, Logan Gilbert. Nice job. Next up is first baseman Tyler Nevin. Slow dribbler. Rojas is there. Good defense. Throw to first. Nice job. That was a tough play there for Rojas. Running full speed and not being able to make that error. Nice job, Rojas. End of the fourth, 4-3 A's. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 left fielder today, Luke Raleigh. We need you to nuke it. We need a home run from you today. Batting second, 0 for 1, third baseman, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. Defense has been magnificent today. Good job, Josh. Now we need your bat to come alive. And batting third, 1 for 1 with a run, right fielder, Victor Robles. Let's go Mariners. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Addiction, depression, anxiety, or maybe your favorite football team or baseball team not being good. It will affect your mental health. But understand, if you make minor adjustments to your daily routine, exercise, eat healthier, listen to music, spend time with friends, family, and pets, or somewhere positive like the NWSF, it'll help you get back on track and help you win the day. Let's go Mariners. Down by a run. We're in the top of the fifth. Let's go. Come on, Luke. AL wild card. Mariners 5 games back in the cutoff. Red Sox, Tigers have even passed us, and then the Mariners are there. Orioles, Twins, Royals at the top. And if you really think about it, those are the teams that deserve it. Those are the teams that are better than us. And, if we would have been able to take care of business against the bad teams, we would probably be sitting where the Twins or the Royals are at the top of the wild card, right below the Orioles. But it is what it is. Raleigh, little floater, 1 away. Shows you, in a 162-game season, you can't be great for the first 2.5 months and then shit the bed in the last 2.5. You got to be able to be consistent, and consistency is key, not only in relationships, but in sports. Next up, third baseman, Hollywood, Josh Rojas, as well as in fantasy football. You got to have consistency. You got to have those pieces that are going to be consistently great for you week in and week out. Pitch is high. 1-1 count to Josh Rojas. Big swing and a miss. 1-2 count to Josh. 234 average, 7 homers, and 26 ribbies here in 2024. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Vito to Rojas. I feel like the game could go either way, but right now the A's have the momentum. Rojas is down on strikes, 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder Victor Robles. But it really is going to come down to the bullpen. After Vito and Gilbert go out, whose bullpen is better will probably win the game. Oh, 1 pitch. Oh, almost hit Victor Robles in the face. That was close. We don't want Victor to get hit in the cheek there. Damn, that was close. Victor stays on the ground for an extended period of time to gather himself. 94 batters hit by pitch this season. That's number 1 in baseball. Robles, there we go. Robles gives a little FU back to Beto. Nice single there. You try to hit me in the face, and then I'll end up getting a nice single on that next pitch on you. Nice job, Victor. Hell yeah. Nice job, Robles. Next up, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And they definitely need to switch J.P. and Robles, because in a 10-game stretch, right, based on the number 1 and the number 9 hitters, you're going to get about 8 to 10 more at-bats leading off rather than being in the 9-hole. Who's a better hitter right now, J.P. or Robles? And that obviously solves all the, questions that are, being brought up. You want to make sure you're having your best hitter, or one of your top 2 hitters in that leadoff spot, and it definitely isn't JP. And again, going to the 9-hole isn't going to hurt him. It might hurt his ego a little bit, but again, Victor needs to be leading off. And if we do, that's going to help us here in September. But if they're going to just grandfather JP in this leadoff spot, I don't really think it's going to be very good for the Mariners. 197 average, 9 homers, 32 ribbies, unless JP catches fire, but I'm not sure if any Mariner fan believes that he will, at least not this season. We're in the last month of the year. 2-0 pitch. JP force out to first base. JP's got a better chance of getting into a double play than making a big play, but hopefully he'll get better as the season goes on, but it's almost like the season is kind of a wash for him based off the injury. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-3 A's. We still need at least one good inning from here on out to be able to catch up, which is still doable. Come on, Mariners. Don't give up. And we'll be able to see the body language, in the 8th inning, if they feel like they're in it or if they've given up and they're just waiting until tomorrow. Next up for the A's, 0 for 1, shortstop Max Schumann. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run, right fielder Lawrence Butler. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, RBI and a K, DHing for the Athletics, Brent Rooker. Let's go, Mariners. You already know the answer to that question, Reflect. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You see? This person doesn't even know what NWSF is. Yeah. Goodbye. Bottom of the 5th, 4-3 A's. First pitch to Max Schumann, low at the knees, 1-0 count. .231 average, 7 homers, and 32 ribbies for Schumann. Yeah, we got to get this dub. We got to find a way, especially if the Reds, Ellie De La Cruz and company going to help us out and end up beating the Astros. We just need the Astros to get to a nice losing streak. Popped up. People love to brag about all these fucking parlays and shit that they're going to do, but again, a lot of these people, they have no empathy or sympathy or, gratitude, especially when they come into these rooms with the bragginess, right? Like that. There you go. Schumann. Oh, what a catch by Luke Raleigh on the run. There we go. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. But a problem if you have an addiction to gambling, right, and you end up winning, right, whatever you win, you're already down $500 to $1,000 anyways. So, of course, they're not going to, give anything away. They're just still in the negative, They just want to be able to brag on it on different, social media posts and channels. Look at me. I'm betting on this game. I'm going to win, right? But they don't tell you that they're, negative 2,000 in the bank account. Julio with a nice grab, 2 away. And it's funny, too, because a lot of times, even when you get people that win big, big money, they won't even donate $1. That's how stingy they are because they've lost so much money that they can't even come to the realization of being generous to someone. If they get help winning a bet, they'll just take everything and leave. That's just how addictive gamblers are. They feel like they're going to win every single bet. They never lose. They're never going to tell you about their losses, and then if they end up winning and they get help from someone, they never show the gratitude in return. So don't be a gambler. Facts. Bottom of the 5th, 4-3, Oakland. Appreciate you, Reflect. Let me know what you want to do for photos. I got you. Yeah. If people only had the gratitude like yourself. And like I said, I've had a few friends that have gone down the gambling addiction, and I obviously know how bad it can get. It's like if you have a separate bank account, or if you have a girlfriend or a wife and you're hiding things and whatnot, or you're trying to be able to do all these parlays in kind of a shady way, like people think that they can control it, but again, all you do is get in deeper and deeper. Oh, I'm only going to do 1 bet a week. Then it turns into 2 bets a week. Then it turns into 3 bets a week. Then it turns into a bet a day. And then it starts going from $5 bets to $10 bets, $20 bets, $100 bets, and then you get yourself in fucking trouble. And then you can't pay your rent. You can't pay your car insurance. Your girlfriend leaves you. A lot of shit goes down. Rooker with the half swing, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I appreciate you, Reflect. And that's why I feel with like my knowledge that I could, be good at sports betting, but I'm never going to do that. I feel like, and I wouldn't be doing it a lot, but I can see where the addiction comes from. Big swing and a miss by Rooker. Got him. Nice job, Logan. But if you have an addictive personality, you can definitely get yourself into some big, big trouble for sure. Let's go to the top of the 6th and see who's up next for the Mariners. Next up, 0 for 1 with an RBI and a K, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and a 2-run blast. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. We may need you to hit another home run here tonight. And batting third, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks, DHing Randy Arozarena, who's been a little lazy in the box. I need you to be able to focus there and swing the damn bat. Let's go, Randy. Let's go, Mariners. I'm going to throw up some Jonah Coleman for you. It's like, who would have thought that, we already saw him at Arizona, but, who would have thought that Jonah Coleman would be better than your running back from last year? I mean, you guys were solid all over. Oregon Ducks needed Jonah Coleman. All right, come on, Julio. Some of the photos from the game, it wasn't like converting, but hopefully as we get further along in the season, there'll be more Husky Jonah Coleman photos that they'll be able to go through, and then I'll post those for you as they have more availability on them. Some of them just aren't transferring over. Top of the 6, 4-3 A's with nobody on, 0-2 count to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Pitch is low at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Vito to Rodriguez. Yeah, Florida State about to start 0-2. Just like when we had Willie Taggart, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to go to Florida State. Yeah, that won't last long. Or Crystal Ball, I'm going to go home to the U. That didn't work out very well. You know, but at least it gave us the opportunity to get a guy like Dan Lanning, though. There we go, Julio. Ana in the building. Vamos, Mariners. Let's go. Ana from Mexico in the building. Go, Mariners. Nice job by Julio there with the base knock. Now let's add on to this. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And this would be a great time to get that second home run. And I know that's being a little greedy since he already hit a home run earlier today. But hell, we're down 4-3. We need our best players to step up in the biggest moments. And maybe Cal can, repeat some magic, from the first inning. And it's not like he hasn't done it before. He's done it multiple times already. But hopefully we can get a little bit of Mariner magic here in this at-bat from Cal Raleigh. Top of the 6, 4-3. Nobody out. Runner at first, Julio. 1-0 count from Vito to Raleigh. Oh, Julio's running. Julio's running. Safe. Julio in scoring position, and that's how you end up getting back in the game. If you've noticed in baseball this year, the stolen bag is so essential to get your guy from first to second and third. And if you got guys that are good on the bags, that one simple maneuver like bunting can really go a long ways in the MLB in 2024 and beyond. I think those are the 2 biggest X factors in baseball right now. Stealing bags and being efficient at it, and also bunting and getting guys over and getting guys on. If you can do those 2 things on a high level, you have a better chance of winning the game overall. Cal, slow dribbler. Julio goes back to second. 1 away. Next up, DHing for the Mariners, Randy Arozarena, who doesn't really have the power to hit it, back into the deep outfield. It'll be usually a slow roll dribbler, but hopefully it's in the right location where we can actually advance the runner here. Come on, Randy. Randy has gone through these moments. When we first got him, he was hot. And then after the honeymoon phase kind of ended, then he's been a little cold. And then the defense started being a little lackluster, in left field. And I just want him to focus. It just seems like the focus isn't fully there game in and game out. Like one game he's focused and he's in it. And then the next game, it seems like he just doesn't really care. And he's just out there, collecting a paycheck, wondering what's for dinner tonight. And I want our players to be focused throughout the season and every game. And hopefully Randy can get a little bit of consistency here in September. 216 average, 18 homers, and 47 ribbies. But obviously, as we got him, during the trade deadline, that number was closer to 280 to 300. But he's starting to kind of fall back to those old ways when he was struggling with the Tampa Bay Rays. 0-1 pitch. Slow dribbler. Nice! And just like I said, slow dribbler, running it out, very hard to first base, advancing the runner. Nice job, Randy. That's exactly what you are as a hitter. You're not going to get it back to left field. You're not going to get it off the wall. You're going to hit a slow roll dribbler, and then you run your ass off to first and hope that we can end up getting you that runner advance, and that's exactly what fucking happened. Nice job. Next up, first baseman Justin Turner. I mean, we can come up with ESP moments all day and all night. Let's go. I mean, analytics, metrics, reading, watching film, a lot of these things add up. You just have to pay attention in sports. Sports, things tend to repeat themselves over and over and over again. People think sports is black and white. It isn't. It's gray. There's going to be a gray area where if you just notice the tendencies, you can predict a lot of things that happen in sports. History, right? Obviously, seems to repeat itself. Records are meant to be broken, and they will be from time to time, but history repeats itself over and over again. There we go. Let's get something here. Top of the 6th, runners on the corners, no double play. Come on. JT, you had 2 home runs 2 games ago. Then they gave you a day off, which I thought was a mistake. Let's go Big Red. Pitch is low. Good eye. 1-0 count. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. And, even just being patient in the box with the next couple hitters and trying to force walks, would be beneficial for us here instead of just trying to, shoot for the moon and trying to hit a 3-run blast right here. Unless the pitch is right down the middle, of course. 1-0 pitch. JT, yes! Yes! Hell yeah! That's what I'm talking about, Big Red. 4-4. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Next up, Jorge Polanco. Polo is due for a home run. And I know I said that about Cal Raleigh, and about 10 seconds later, he homered. But Polo is another guy that is due for a home run. Not saying that he's going to do it right here. Looks like they're going to make a pitching change, and Beto is out. But we finally tied the game up before Beto left the game. And now we actually have a chance to win this. Let's go. Sarah in the building. What's good? Wow. That's insane. Right. And then we play the Cardinals coming up this weekend. But again, I'll probably do we'll have to kind of see, because obviously we're getting into the NFL season. So we're going to do this game today. We're going to do the A's on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday is the NFL debut, so obviously we're doing the Chiefs and the Ravens, right? And then on Friday is Eagles and Packers in Brazil, and I'm doing that. And then on Saturday, we're going to end up doing the Ducks and Boise State, so we'll do that. And then obviously as we go to Sunday, we're going to end up doing some more NFL, and I got to be able to do some reaction videos. I got to sign up for the YouTube service for the YouTube Plus, so that way there's no ads. So that way when I do my reaction videos, there's not like 5 ads in between it. You can watch it all the way through. So that's going to cost me another $12 or $13 a month. So we probably won't be doing another Mariner game after Wednesday until, I don't know, maybe Tuesday. So there'll be a little bit of a break as we're doing like NFL games and reaction videos and, to the highlights of the games, as well as the Oregon Ducks against Boise State Broncos. So we'll soak in these. I mean, I'll be watching all the games, but as far as, what is on tap for the schedule for the channel, that's what we're looking at. There we go. Beto is out. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Where are we at? We got to be over 20 likes by now. Off to a little bit of a slow start. We're at 20 exactly. If there are people in the room that haven't smashed the like button yet, we want to get to a minimum of 30. Typically 40 or 50 is ideal, but we got off to a little bit of a slower start today. I mean, it is the A's, and it was on at 4. So we're at 21 now. We need 9 more to hit the goal for the stream for the night. So if you are in the room, help your boy out. Do your boy a solid. Smash that like button so we can get 30 to 35. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that very much. Now we got McFarland on the mound, a lefty, and we'll see if Polo can take advantage. Rodriguez still second. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Come on, Polo. And I kind of like Polo swinging from the left side rather than the right side. But now you got a lefty in there, so I don't really feel the home run is going to happen here. Usually if Polo's, he can hit home runs from both sides like Cal, but I kind of like Polo from the left side rather than the right. Not saying he can't do it, but more of a contact hitter from the right, and he has a more of a home run ability from the left. But he can hit homers from the right too, though. 236 average, 1 homer, and 21 ribbies with runners in scoring position. Line drive to right field. And the runners do not tag up with that nice throw in right field. Polo is done. And now we're bringing in Dylan Moore for Luke Raley. I'm not sure if I would want Dylan Moore batting for Luke Raley. See, these decisions, aren't just a Scott Service thing. This is also a Dan Wilson thing too. And I love Dan, and you're not going to hear anyone speak a bad word about him. But again, like some of the substitutions, for some of the players, it's a little questionable. But if they end up getting a hit, we don't care, right? If they end up, getting the RBI, the home run, the big hit, fine. But if they don't, it's like, but also too, on the flip side, you could keep Luke Raley in and he could just strike out and whatnot. But hopefully Dylan can make the most of this opportunity, because and obviously Luke, and the reason they did it is because it's a left-handed pitcher. And obviously Luke, if it was a righty, then maybe they keep him in. So I see why they did it, but I feel there's too much emphasis on left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter. If the left-handed batter is just as, good, keep him there. I feel way too much emphasis on that. That's like the one thing that managers fuck up on the most. They get so comfortable. Oh, it's a left-handed pitcher, bring in the righties. Oh, it's a right-handed pitcher, bring in the lefties. So you're telling me if someone's elite and they're a lefty and a lefty pitcher comes in, they can't play and they're just useless? Get out of here. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, at least Demo might be able to get a walk here. Uh-oh. German Shepherd threw up. I got to clean it up. There we go. Well, I wasn't really happy about the substitution, but we'll take 4 straight balls to make it a walk. And then now we're bringing in Garver for Rojas with bases loaded. Oh, my God. They better be praying that he gets a walk. And then, we bring it in, right? An extra one in, 5-4. Or he gets extremely lucky and ends up hitting, 2 RBI double. 5 grand slams this season. Cal's got 2. Haniger's got 1. Crawford's got 1. JT has got 1. Are you going to get one here by Garv? Ah, man. I don't know about this. Unless we get a 4-pitch walk like the last one. I don't know. Maybe Dan Wilson knows something that I don't know. Not sure if I would want this player here. And I almost feel they're doing it just because he's a right-handed batter, and that's it. Same thing with Demo. But if you really want someone to be a hero, hell, if you do this and you do grand salami, I don't say everything is forgiven from the bad season that we've had, but it definitely will put us, you on the good side and not on the shit list anymore, or at least a little bit. Pitch right down the middle, 80 miles an hour to Garver for a strike, 165 average for Mitch Garver here. He's got 1 career grand slam, July 27th, 2021 versus Detroit off Tyler Alexander. Can he make it number 2? Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. I think we have a better chance to have him force a walk if he doesn't get greedy here. And obviously he's pretty tentative in the box as it is anyways. He's not overly aggressive like Julio. So maybe he can just, not swing and we can get a free run. Swings at that one. That one goes towards third base foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, great win by USC. Come on, Garv. Come on, Mitch. Please. Come on, Mitch. RBI. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I don't think I like this Mitch Garver and with bases loaded with 2 outs. Seems like a wasted at bat to me. Unless he gets walked. 2-2 pitch. Garv, line drive, and caught. least we tied it up, but what a wasted opportunity there. And again, probably the biggest mistake that managers make, game in and game out, having to go left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, left-handed batters. It doesn't have to be that way. But apparently that's how every manager, coaches in the MLB. Ridiculous. All right, let's see what we got going on here. At least we tied it up, so at least I can't be fully angry right now. Let's go, Ems. Keep battling. Let's go to the bottom of the 6, see who's up next for Oakland. Next up for the A's, 1-for-1 with a run and a base on ball, center fielder J.J. Bleday. Batting second, 1-for-2 with a run, 3 RBIs, catcher Shea Langoliers. He ended up hitting a 3-run blast, and that has been our thorn in our side here today. And batting third, left fielder, 0-for-2 with a K, Seth Broad. Oh, I got a good one to format for you, Reflect. Let me see if I can get this Jonah Coleman here. And you will be seeing Jonah Coleman on Sundays, baby. Look at Weber State. He's like, come back. You're too fast. You're too physical. You're a beast. Number 1 rated running back from PFF week number 1 in the entire country. Jonah Coleman. All right, next up is J.J. Bleday. Haniger coming into the game as well. One-0 pitch from Gilbert to Bleday. Pitch is in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike for Logan Gilbert. Come on, Logan. Focus, baby. Finish strong. Stetson's finest. There was like 3 other ones that I tried to bring in, but they wouldn't make a format. But I imagine once I go down the page, I might be able to find another one for you. 249 average in 2024 for J.J. Bleday. One-two pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. High and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Gilbert. Finish strong. 80 pitches for Logan, but giving up that 3-run blast to Langoliers was not ideal. Popped up. Julio's there. No fly zone. Nice job, JP. Nice job, Julio. Let's go, Mariners. Next up for the A's, catcher Shea Langoliers, and I was commenting how much I love this kind of green apple helmet with the yellow brim and the jersey combo, and then all of a sudden he decides to go for a 3-run jack. I got to stop complimenting these guys. Big swing and a miss, behind in the count 0-1. 222 average, 24 homers, and 67 ribbies for Shea Langoliers. Big swing and a miss, behind in the count 0-2. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty competitive. I mean, whenever I do a draft, I try to have the best draft out of everyone. And then as I go throughout the season, I try to have the highest points per game average every week. You know, I have different standards than a lot of the other people that are going to be in the league. You know, I'm trying to go all the way every single year. And when I don't win, it's a failure. Second place is not good enough for me. So, but again, if you end up finishing second and third and you gave everything that you had, that's all you can do, you know. But again, we have a lot of good competitive pieces in the league, and I wouldn't be shocked either way that if I end up finally winning it this year, or if I end up getting second or third place, you know, like what has happened in the last couple years. Langoliers, did he get hit? Almost got him. 97 miles an hour as he dodges that fastball or cutter. Bottom of the sixth, 4-4, Mariners and A's. Nobody on with one out. Logan Gilbert, 85 pitches in. Should be his last inning that he's in there. 2-2 pitch to Langoliers. At the knees, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, at least there's one team that's worse than the Ducks in Florida State. So as far as being overhyped and overrated. Froze him. There we go. Another punch out by Logan. There we go. Yeah, especially, you know, getting D-Hop, you know, obviously for, you know, another wide receiver that, you know, I feel that is a good receiver in Jacoby Myers, but D-Hop has more of a higher ceiling. And then also being able to get Zeke, you know, and just throwing him there. So we'll see what he does. Obviously, we know Zeke is old as shit, you know, but the offense should be good in the regular season. And we saw that Zeke at the end of the year with the Patriots was getting a lot of screen passes. So if you're actually getting, you know, an opportunity to catch passes as well as getting 15 to 20 totes at the rock for PPR leagues like we're in, that definitely can be a benefit. So will I keep Zeke on my roster for a long time? Probably not. He'll probably be off my team within a month while I have to get another tight end or kicker or defense and to fill the hole that I need. But at least for the time being, you know, to get him for basically nothing, you know, those are the types of picks that you want to have in fantasy. You know, you want to make sure you're always upgrading your roster and even your bench. And your bench should be, you know, so good that you can literally play anybody on your bench in your starting lineup without a blink of an eye. And if that's the case, you know that you've done everything to your power to give yourself a chance. 2-1 pitch. Seth Brown crushes that one. Fading foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I'm always 10th on the waiver. I'm never first. So again, when everyone else is sleeping, I'm picking up the pieces, you know, and they may not be ideal pieces to half of the league, but I know what I get when I get it. And again, sometimes you have to take advantage, and that's how I take advantage of never being first or second or third on the waiver. I have to, you know, be last on the waiver, but I'm going to get the most scraps that are left. And that's the strategy that I play. Instead of not making any moves and waiting to get to the top of the waiver, you know, I'll make moves. And, you know, of course, would I love to be at the top of the waiver? Yeah. But, you know, everyone's got a method to their madness. So. Three-two pitch from Gilbert to Brown. Chops that one foul. Yeah, but if you're looking at the teams, obviously Reflect's team is good, Sarah's team is good, Captain Oreo's team is good, Megan's team is good. I feel my team is right there at the top as well. And then we have other teams that may surprise. But if you're just looking at the players on the roster, you know, I think those are going to be the top 5. And then the other 5 individuals are going to have to really work hard and you know, hope that they can keep up with some of the, you know, people that are in the top 5. You know, and the people that are in the bottom 5, it doesn't mean they're not going to make the playoffs. They're just going to have to work a lot harder on the wire, and we'll see what kind of injuries end up happening in the league. Big swing and a miss, got him. You got to have a well-balanced team and a good bench as well. Nice job by Logan. End of the 6th inning. We're knotted up at 4. We can win this game. Nice job by Gilbert. Even though he ended up giving up that big 3-run jack to Shea Langoliers, he's actually had a pretty good day overall. Logan Gilbert, let's look at his stat line. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks, right? But he gave up a 3-run blast, which he normally doesn't do. So kind of shitty that he had to give up a 3-run jack instead of a solo jack, and then we're not really in this position right now. But at least that the bats have turned the corner, and 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits. When we get that, we win most of the time, and now we're going to have to get to 5. We're at 4 runs, 6 hits. They're at 4 runs, 4 hits. So, we got better stats than them at this point. No errors for either team, but really, whose bullpen is going to be better? That will probably dictate who ends up winning this game, and hopefully it is the Mariners. Let's go. Yeah, but also with like UMAT and Zini, who's actually won the league a few years back when she drafted Justin Jefferson and DK as rookies, and then they went fucking crazy, and she ended up winning the league with those 2 rookies. And I feel like taking a rookie in every fantasy draft is like a must. You never know. Like obviously with Megan getting Neighbors, we think Daniel Jones stinks as a quarterback, but if he gets like fucking 13 targets a game, that could be a game changer for that position for her. The team is already great, and then you add that piece on top of it, that could be the game changer, where you can end up, maybe taking a playoff spot from someone just based on something like that. Or with Sarah, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. And I had a chance to grab him, but I didn't want to grab him as my number 1. I had to go with my gut and someone that I trust more, like with Mike Evans, and especially with Mike Evans this year, if he ends up getting 1,000 yards, and getting those numbers, he'll be one of the only players to get 1,000 yards every year in his career. So I already know that Mike is going to be definitely motivated. Baker goes to him a lot. Now, if I needed a wide receiver too, like Sarah did after she had Tyreek, yeah, I would have taken Marvin Harrison, Jr. as my number 2, but I didn't want to take him as my 1. Not that I don't believe in Kyler, I do, but, you have to be able to have a trust factor, especially when you're doing fantasy. 0-1 pitch to Victor Robles. 1 ball and 1 strike. Holman in the game now. We're knotted up at 4, and we do have a chance in this matchup. But you never know what rookie will break out. And sometimes that'll be that flex or that piece that no one expects to go crazy. And then that might end up being, a part of you winning the league, having an individual like that. So. One-two pitch. Pitches outside to Robles. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Victor. 63 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Let's get to 30 likes before the stream ends. Two-two pitch. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're at 25. We need 5 more to get to the goal, and then we're just, gravy from there. Now we're at 26. Thank you so much. 4 more likes to hit the goal for the night. Let's go, baby. Popped up. Robles. Foul. But you know what's really key? You and me reflect, right? Out of the whole entire league, we already have like 20 to 30% of all the running backs just between you and me. So out of everyone that's in the 10-man woman league, based on the running backs that you have and I have, we already have like 20 to 30% of all running backs that are good on our roster, either starting or on our bench. And we saw how that helped you last year and how it typically helps me year in and year out. Like that one year I had Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb, and Saquon Barkley. I had 3 of the top 4 running backs. But again, you still need to have, quarterback, tight end, defense, kicker, good bench. But obviously we know that the league is transitioning from running back play to wide receivers are more coveted now, starting from last year and now this year. But if you don't have good running backs, it could be a big bugaboo. Throw to first, 2 away, down goes J.P. Crawford. Exactly. And I think that's the thing, that even though a lot of fantasy experts have decided wide receiver is the key position to draft, but if you get to a point where you don't have running backs and you're like me last year and you're stuck there with, I got Rachaad White, but then number 2, maybe David Montgomery, but then if he has an injury, then I'm stuck with fucking Jalen Warren or Najee Harris putting up a 10. Sometimes that's not good enough. When you end up only getting 10 and 10 from your RB1 and RB2. Yeah, it's nice to be able to put up 20 and 30s out of your receivers, but if they have an off day or they get hurt, you can't put up 10 and 10 with RB1, RB2 when you got someone else you're going against that's throwing up 60 to 70, with their running backs, and you're putting up 20. So running back depth is definitely the key to a championship. And if you end up getting a guy like Jalen Hurts, like reflected, that definitely will help you as well. Top of the 7th, 4-4, Mariners and A's. Nobody on. 2 outs, 2-0 count for Julio Rodriguez, who's been really turning the curve since working with Edgar Martinez as our new hitting coach. Let's go. 118 hits this season, leads the team. Just imagine if Julio was on. Shit, he'd be at probably close to 200 if he actually was having a good year. Let's go, Julio. There we go. Julio with a walk. But you know what the crazy thing is, Sarah? Everyone can look at the waivers, but everyone did such a good job. There's barely anything left on the waiver wire right now. Like if you look at the wire, we know there's going to be a couple breakout stars that are like, wide receiver 2s that end up, having like a 30-point game or, a 20-point game, and someone's going to bite and grab that player, right? But if you actually look at like quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, defense, kicker, there's not a whole lot left. Like this is the least amount of talent that I've seen like left. Like there's scraps. Like every single person drafted really well and they did a really good job on the bench. There's not like, like obviously I picked up D-Hop, right? And I got Zeke. And then there was like Chuba Hubbard that Zini got. But other than that, like, we pretty much scooped up the 2 good running backs that were starters that were left in Zeke and Chuba Hubbard, right? And then obviously I ended up getting D-Hop and upgrading my wide receiver. But again, there's definitely going to be some pieces in the wide receiver. But other than that, I mean, there's not really a whole lot left. And obviously there'll be some defenses that peak that aren't doing, solid projected numbers now. But as we, get through the season, there's going to be some of those defenses that are going to be plucked, right? And the kickers as well. There's going to be some kickers that will be plucked as well as defense, But as far as like running backs, now if someone gets hurt, and the backups are there, but there's no starters left. Like all the starting running backs are gone. The only good backup quarterback left is Baker. Tight ends, there's nothing left. Everyone did a fantastic job, top to bottom. There was no really weak, person, I feel. Like everyone did everything in their power in their draft slot to compete. Pitch is low and inside at the knees to Cal Raleigh. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, big dumper. Can you do some magic for me one more time? 2-run blast to give us a 6-4 lead, but it probably won't happen at this at-bat. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Holman. Julio stranded. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th. We're knotted up at 4. But this is definitely the most competitive, I feel, this year. Because normally there's like 1 or 2 people that are kind of leaps and bounds ahead of everyone else. I really feel right now there's 5. There's only 4 playoff spots, but there's 5 really strong teams and then 5 that are going to have to catch up. That's, based on looking at the rosters, right? And then one of those bottom 5 teams might make the playoffs. But again, if you don't have a good draft, if you're not in the top 5 in the draft, you better hope that, when it becomes that, first and second week on the wire and you got first pick, you better grab the Puka Nacua, and you better use that guy to help you catch up. Because otherwise, if you don't and someone else gets him, you're fucked. Like, you got to make sure that you're grabbing that guy. But I'm not really sure if the Puka type of player is there on the wire right now. It might be, but again, I felt that the league did a very, very good job. Yeah, and definitely the running backs are a lot older this year, and we know how physical the game is. So there is a good possibility that some of the backups will be starters. It might be even within the first 2 months, so we'll see on how it goes. And I hope no major injuries happen to any of our stars in the league. But as you guys know, it's very hard to be able to keep your team clean throughout a year. That's why it's so important to draft a good bench. So that way, if you have big names that go out, you're not like, I'm fucked. The season's over. I'm fucked. My bench sucks. I screwed up. I lost. Like, you want to make sure that you feel like, okay, I'm fucked right now with my running back going down, but at least I have a couple guys that aren't as good as my main guy, but they might help me stay afloat, until the guy comes back, if it's not season ending. So, yeah, but I was definitely looking at that too. We got more guys approaching 30 that have been elite for many, many years than ever. So, hopefully they have good offensive lines to be able to protect. Bottom of the 7th, 4-4, we get JT Chagua coming into the game, the former Mariner, Marlin, and then back to the Mariners again. Come on, JT. Finds the corner for strike one. Let's go. Bottom of the 7th, we're knotted up at 4. Can't lose to the fucking Athletics. And the Reds beat the Astros today. I mean, if you can't get motivated for that, what the fuck are you getting motivated for, Mariners? Let's go. Let's go, JT. Finish strong. And I really, really like my new favorite player on the team as of late that has, made an impact is Troy Taylor. I really like what he brings to the bullpen, even though he's a rookie and he's young, but he got the swag and he's got the gift. Line drive to J.P. Crawford. There we go, one away. Next up, for the Athletics, former Tampa Bay Ray, Tristan Gray. And obviously, if there was a good A's photo, I would have used it, but I think he only had like 7 at-bats for the A's, and they didn't have any good photos of him yet. So maybe tomorrow, after today's game, there'll be a uniform of him in the A's that I can use instead. I don't really like using photos of players in their old team, but if I can't find anything good, I'm not going to give you some blurry-ass shit picture on the current team. Just hasn't been too many photos of Tristan Gray just yet. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Behind in the count, 0-2. Yeah, obviously we've been waiting for Burrow to stay healthy, and if Burrow can stay healthy, you might have a good chance of winning the division or, getting second place and getting a wild card. We assume the Ravens and the Bengals will be the 2 best teams in the AFC North, but you never can count out Cleveland with their defense. You just never know what you're getting on that offensive side of the ball with Watson and their quarterbacks. But they don't got Joe Flacco anymore. They got Jameis Winston. So if Watson goes down, you're not going to have the same Cleveland team as last year, going to the playoffs and beating C.J. Stroud. Not going to happen with Jameis. So I think they made a big mistake on letting Flacco go, Cleveland. But I would assume Cleveland will be in 3rd, Pittsburgh will be in 4th, and then Ravens and Bengals will battle it out as long as Burrow can stay healthy with Lamar for the full season. But I do worry about like I said before with you, DX, with Joe Mixon gone, the team isn't going to be as good, running the ball. They'll be okay, but, you got to understand Joe Mixon is a top 10 running back, or at least he was for many, many years. And if you lose a top 10 running back, it's, we'll see if they can produce. And obviously the offensive line will be under more pressure and more stress having to block for a running back or running back committee that's not as good. But if they can end up, staying afloat at running back, we'll see what happens there with the Bengals. 2-0 count. Bottom corner for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike from JT Chagua to Tyler Nevin. Like, in what world would you choose Jameis Winston over Joe Flacco? Fucking never. Even if Joe Flacco is like 45, give me Joe over fucking Jameis Winston at 20. That was a good comeback story for Flacco. You know, sitting on the couch and then coming in and just bawling. I loved it. Bottom of the 7th, 4-4 Mariners and A's. Nobody on, 2 outs, 2-2 pitch from Chargois to Tyler Nevin. Typically, it's coaching and defense, but obviously the offensive line stinks. And, I mean, would you want Russell Wilson and Justin Fields as your quarterback? Fuck no. They're going to have a long-ass year. Might be one of the first years that Tomlin doesn't have a winning record. There we go. JT Chargois, baby. You know, and I do like Minkah Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt, and I like some of the players, you know, on the defensive side of the ball. And they always have like athletes, you know, at wide receiver. And obviously Jaylen Warren is coming into the year hurt, and then you got Najee. But again, the offensive line is so shitty that those running backs should be able to get more big plays, but they're limited because the line stinks so bad. You know, and obviously if you have a quarterback that isn't confident, that, you know, stares down, you know, his receivers and whatnot, and makes it a little bit more predictable. You know, again, I would assume Russell Wilson will be the starter for the first month. If they go 1-3, then they'll throw in Justin Fields, but it's not going to get any better. It'll be better with maybe him with his legs. But as far as accuracy to George Pickens, you know, we'll see on how it goes. Freiermuth is a good option. Pickens is a good option, but you actually have to have a good quarterback to throw to those guys. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we're in the top of the 8th. Let's see who's up here for the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 3 with 2 Ks, DHing Randy Arozarena. Batting second, first baseman Justin Turner. And batting third, second baseman Jorge Polanco, unless they make changes. Let me look. Okay, looks like those guys are still safe. And then Demo is in for Raleigh. And then Rojas went to Garver, and then it's going to be Haniger, if we can get to that point. You know, it's crazy. When I ended up doing reaction videos to the preseason, all the Steeler fans said I was an idiot, that Kenny Pickett was going to take them to the Super Bowl, the playoffs every year, and that I'm going to eat my words and all that. And then as soon as we got into like the first month of the regular season, all those people disappeared. Funny when people get overconfident and thinking that their quarterback is the next Big Ben, and when I tell them that it's not, and they want to argue with me, and then all you got to do is just wait for time to pass, and now all of those people that bought those Pickett jerseys and thought that he was going to be the second coming of Big Ben now realize that they were wrong. So, and I'm not going to be right about everything, but I knew that he wasn't good enough to be the guy. So, especially with that bad offensive line, not a good recipe of success when you got a quarterback, you know, that has a terrible offensive line. So, but it was hilarious to try to get chewed out by these Steeler fans saying how dumb I am. I was like, okay, come back to me after the first month and we'll have a conversation if you guys still feel Pickett is Super Bowl champion worthy. And everyone disappeared. So, you know, but at least they got some defensive guys that you can root for, like Minkah and TJ, right? They got a couple of those. But other than that, you know, George Pickens is a fun receiver to watch, but he's never going to hit his full potential if you don't have a quarterback that can throw him the ball, right? But also, the Steelers always pick like these hothead wide receivers that get in trouble off the field. Like they're super athletic, right? But they're ego guys. And then they let that ego get the best of them. And then they end up, you know, either getting hurt or going to another team. It's kind of crazy. Like they always get these really good wide receivers, but there's always an attachment of something bad to them. Popped up, one away. Next up for the Mariners, first baseman Justin Turner. Come on, Mariners. Let's win this game. Bring the electricity, baby. I know what we're missing. The reason why we haven't come back yet. Here it is. What was I thinking? If I would have put this up in like the third or fourth inning, maybe we would have been ahead by now. We needed Maurice. Hello. There we go. Now we're going to win. There we go. That's what was missing. JT crushes that one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, we're at 28. We need 2 more likes to get to 30. If you are in the room and haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Help us get to 30 and beyond. We only need 2 more, and we're at the number. Let's go. Pitch is high and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Montañez to Justin Turner. Wow, that was called a strike? That was a foot off the plate. Come on, get some glasses or contacts. Christ. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two pitch. Pitch is outside. Better not call that strike 3. Or I'm going to jump through the computer. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, JT. Come on, Big Red. Take the walk if it's there. Take the walk if it's there. Don't swing. 3-2 pitch. All 4. There we go. There we go. Next up, second baseman 0 for 3, Jorge Polanco. I would love to see Ryan Bliss get a chance, but obviously not on the team. All right, come on, Polo. You get to bat from the left side now instead of the right. Are you due for a big home run? You are overdue, like Cal was. I'm not sure if you got it in you, right? I don't know if the juice is loose and you got that in you, that swag and that aura to hit a 2-run blast. But if you do hit a 2-run blast here, we win, period. Top of the 8th, 4-4, runner at first, 1 out, 1-0 count from Montañez to Polo. You're at 13 home runs, make it 14. Pitch is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Maybe we'll get Polo with a walk as well. Just as good as a home run, as long as the next couple guys can knock them in. Three balls and no strikes. Giving up 20 points is not that bad. Giving up 20 points is fantastic. We're talking about college football teams that put up 40, 50, 60, and 70, and then you're going against a team that's ranked 10 points, positions higher than you. 13th versus 23rd, and as being one of the traditionally worst defenses in college football, and then you ended up playing someone as good as LSU and winning. Come on, man. Give the flowers where they need to be given. It was a fantastic. It's the best turnaround I've ever seen from a bad defense to a good defense, especially against a ranked opponent. It's not like they fucking played Idaho like us. They fucking played LSU. Give them the credit. 3-1 pitch. Pitch is low and at the knees. There's another walk. You got to understand, this is not the NFL when you're holding guys under 20. People in college football will throw up 40, 50, 60, 70. You don't see NFL teams throwing up numbers like that. Come on, Matt. Give the flowers where flowers need to be given, even as a Duck fan. Okay? USC did something fucking phenomenal. No bias. Keep it 100. That's how it has to be. Next up, getting a chance to be a pinch hitter, Dylan Moore. I mean, even if USC's defense, wasn't, one of the worst in college football last year, like let's say they were, an average defense, what we saw over the weekend was insane. But just the simple fact that they were one of the worst in college football and then look like they could be maybe a top 10, 15, 20 defense. And again, one game is one game, but you can definitely tell a lot about a team in the first game. Just like we did with Oregon, not looking good, USC looking really good. So again, one game isn't going to define an entire season, but it definitely is a blueprint on what to expect moving forward, especially when you beat a ranked opponent 13th in the country when you're ranked 23rd, or you're number 3 playing dog shit against Idaho and almost losing. So you gotta give credit where credit's due. But if Oregon would have been on the road, and playing in a neutral site, against LSU, what the fuck do you think would have happened? We would have got fucking stomped based on how LSU played, and even though that they lost to USC. I mean, if we played the same way against LSU or USC, we would have got stomped. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Demo. Come on, Demo. Come on, baby. Spins off the mound. Takes a big look there at Rivas. He says, stay there. Top of the 8th, 4-4. We need to steal, from second to third. We need to get to third base. But we don't want to, we don't want to jump too early. 1-2 pitch to Moore. Pitches outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Demo. Two pitch. Big swing and a miss. Rivas. Fuck. Fuck. Strike out, throw him out. Oh my God. I think he was safe at third though. Please. Please. Let me look again. I can't tell if he tagged him in that angle. Give me the other angle. That angle, I can't tell. He doesn't touch him. He's safe. He's safe. Demo strikes out, but I think Rivas is safe at third. I think he swiped at air and did not get the clothing. You better call this correctly here. Safe. Didn't touch him, baby. Didn't touch him. He got all air, baby. All air. Safe, baby. We've watched this replay multiple times. He's safe at third. Sucks that Demo ended up whiffing on that attempt, but all air. I don't see shit. Where is he tagging at? But we did also get one where we had an individual get tagged in the butt cheek off the sweat towel, and then they called it out, even though it wasn't on the body, but it was on like the towel. But right there, I don't see anything that shows me that got clothing, butt cheek, leg, hip, or anything there. He's safe. Manny Acta at third. He's like, listen to me, son. Manny Acta will beat some asses. This could be a game-changing play right here. Don't screw us on this. Don't screw us on this. You've already called a bunch of bad pitches against us out of the strike zone, but we can say that for every fucking ump. There we go. Had to get that runner to third to give us a chance to score. It's so important to be able to steal bags and bunt. Okay, now we got Mitch Haniger up. I'm not sure if this is the individual I want up to make the play, but maybe Mitch can be a hero. Come on, Hanny. Garver pinch hitting with bases loaded was stupid. And I don't know if I really agree with this individual batting here at this particular moment. I don't mind Haniger batting, but it's like situational baseball. There's strategy involved. And when you bring in a guy who's been sitting in the dugout the whole game, that's a lot of pressure to come in to be a fucking hero. Runners out in the corners, 2 outs. First pitch to Haniger from Montañez is in there for a strike. $10 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Crucial moment in the season. I agree, Steven. Oh, don't swing at that, Mitch. Golly, Mitch. Bad decision. Now we're not going to get anything out of him. How can you swing at that? Now it's 0-2. You're done. I mean, unless you're Tony Gwynn on an 0-2 count and you're a career 300 hitter, you're done. 0-2 pitch to Haniger. My ESP ain't going to be right all the time, but I mean, fucking A, Dan. You're fucking managing like Scott Service. Putting in fucking Garver with bases loaded when he hasn't played, putting in fucking Haniger. Christ. Are we trying to win or are we trying to lose? Damn it. God, these are the type of moments where like ESP moments come up and I want to be wrong. I don't, it's like, it's cool to be right and predict shit, but it's like there's certain situations where you want to be wrong when you see something, And then, of course, you end up being right, but you don't gain anything from it. You just get fucking irritated that you called something that you could see probably happening. Oh, brutal. That might have cost us the game, honestly, right there. I mean, there's still a chance that we can win this. We gain the momentum back. But we'll see what we get here in the bottom of the 8th. Damn it. $2 holla. $1 holla. We're at 50. 50 to go. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you with a $1 and a $2. Appreciate you. Again, situational baseball and managing, not everyone can do it, and again, it's like, I get it. You want to be able to get certain, individuals into the game, but you want to make sure you get guys into the game at the right time, not when the game is on the line and then you're bringing in guys that are unreliable. Garver, Haniger. Now, have they made plays in the past? Yes. But when you put a guy in late in the season in one of the most crucial moments of the game, you're adding extra pressure on them to get it done instead of maybe sticking with someone else that is a little bit more reliable. And, it was possible that maybe they could have did something good there. But, I mean, whenever I see Garver or Haniger in that type of situation, I mean, you're talking about out of a scale of 1 to 10, they're going to get a hit. You're probably looking at like a 1 or a 2. And if I can realize that as a fan, I know a lot of y'all can realize it too. $2 holla, $3 holla, $5 holla. Let's go. We're at 60. Thank you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Let's go. Still think we can win this game, but that emotionally, right? Sports is about emotion, right? And momentum. And, fuck, man, that was brutal. That was brutal. Like I said, I haven't seen too many big mistakes, out of Dan Wilson. But in the last 2 games, I've seen, Scott Service. I almost feel like he's in the dugout still. Like, what are these decisions that you're making, Dan? Consult with Edgar. Consult with Manny Acta. Consult with somebody. Fuck. Bottom of the 8th, 4-4. Nobody on. Nobody out. Max Schumann, 0-2 count. Popped up. Fucking got me watching the game like this, thinking that we're going to win, and then fucking like this. Screaming and shit. I want to be like this. Joe Dirt approved. Life's a garden, dig it. But I'm like this now. Fuck. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Max Schumann. Come on, Mariners. Reflect with a $2, 32 cent, making Matt bust out the calculator. Appreciate you. Pitches inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, he's got to bust out the calculator. 478. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Now he got Matt going back to high school in Hawaii. He's like, oh God, he's going ham on it. A 232. A 478. Appreciate you. Pitches outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Snyder. Better bust out that TI-85. And if you know, you know. Some of y'all know. If you're OG and you're old, right? TI-82, TI-83, TI-84, TI-85. Put those fucking games on it, right? Put all the answers in. Swap it with a friend. Cheat on the test. Cheat on the homework. You either had a TI-85 or you didn't. Bottom of the 8th, 4-4, Mariners and A's. 3-2 count from Snyder to Schumann. Schumann crushes that one. Foul. And there was games on that was better than just Snake. There was some really good games on those kind of late, or in the late 90s, early 2000s. 3-2 pitch. Pitch is high, and he walks him. Damn it. DX is getting in on the party. Dallas 69. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little cactus jack. Bang, bang, bang. Record in one-run games, 23-22 for the Mariners, 20-22 for the Athletics, which means that we both stink at one-run games. But at least we have over a 500 record. Next up is Lawrence Butler. He said it's 4-4. Exactly what the score is. I like it, Lawrence. Big swing and a miss behind in the count, 0-2. The score is 4-4, Lawrence Butler says. And that's exactly what we got here today. Let's go. Oh-2 pitch to Butler. Crushes that one. Foul. Come on, Snyder. Come on, Mariner Moose. I mean, what do we need to do here? Huh? We need to go here. We need to go here. And then we need to go here. And then give the A's the boot. Come on. Let's go. Oh-2 pitch. Crush towards first base, foul. All right, we're at 33. 7 more likes to 40. If you are in the room and haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. The last goal of the night will be 40 likes, and we're at 33. And we got 51 people in the room. Let's get it, baby. 4-4, bottom of the 8th. Runner at first. 0-2 pitch from Snyder to Butler. Pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Come on, baby. Come on, Colin. Chopper in play. No throw to first base, but we get the force out at second. 1 away. Next up for the Athletics, their best player, DH Brent Rooker. And Brent Rooker was so good this year, he was actually in top 10 out of all MLB players in a number of statistics. And I haven't looked at it in the last couple days to see if he's still there, but I know as of a few weeks ago, he was right there with like Ohtani and Judge, as well as guys like Bobby Witt Jr., and that's pretty impressive. Like, you looked at the top 10 in names, and there was always like 1 or 2 names that didn't really belong. Right? You thought, oh, they're a good player, but are they that good? And Brent Rooker's name has been in there for a good chunk of the season. The guy is an absolute stud. And I know the Mariners would have loved to have been able to get a guy like Brent Rooker. 295 average, 33 home runs, 93 ribbies on the A's. I mean, could you imagine if the Mariners had a player like that with stats like that? I mean, those are stats that we thought maybe Julio would have. Golly, Brent Rooker, you're a G. So good. Let them know, Sarah. Smash that like button. We're getting there. Pitch in the zone for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes, baby. Hey, a dono is a dono, baby. Let's go. $3.74, baby. Oh, now we got a mound visit. That'll give Matt some time to get the calculator, get that TI-85 out. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang, bang. I don't even know what they're on right now for those like high-end calculators, because obviously, when you end up graduating high school and, obviously you would assume the Texas Instruments are still making them. Like, what are they on right now? Are they on like TI-99s now? Because obviously back when I was in high school, the high-end one was the TI-85. But if they kept making them afterwards, I mean, it's got to be like TI something, 90-something, 100. I don't know. It's like cell phones. They always get upgraded and whatnot. That's something that someone should look into. What are the Texas Instruments TI-85? Are they on TI-99s now? What's the high-end calculator at now? And those ones can like play games and do all kinds of crazy shit. Bottom of the 8th, 4-4, Mariners and A's. 1-2 pitch to Rooker, check swing. And that one goes foul. Come on, Mariners. One-two pitch. Fuck yeah. There we go. 2 away. Before Brent Rooker's at bat. After. Let's go. 2 away. Next up for the A's, 1 for 2 with a run and a base on ball. Center fielder, J.J. Bleday. They have so many guys that have 20 home runs or more. First 4 guys in the lineup. I wish the Mariners could say the same. First pitch right down in the zone for a strike. One of the best double hitters in baseball, J.J. Bleday, 1 for 2 with a double walk and a run. We're at $72.53. 0-1 pitch. Pitch is low, out of the zone, at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're getting there. We're almost there. $28 or $27.47 away from the goal. 21-6 Boston College over FSU. FSU garbage. Oregon's having their struggles, but at least we're not as bad as Florida State. Oh, Snyder's there. Flip it to first. Hell yeah. Let's win this fucking game. All right, baby. Let's go. All right, let's see who's up here next for the Mariners and see if we actually have a fucking chance here. All right, let's go to the top of the 9th, and I believe that we have the best part of our order to be able to hit besides JP. Leading off for the Mariners in the 9-hole, right fielder, Victor Robles. 2 for 3 with a run and a K. Let's go, Victor. Batting second, shortstop, J.P. Crawford. And batting third, let's bring that electricity to the lineup. Be a fucking hero today, Julio Rodriguez. Let's fucking win this game. 5-4 Mariners. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Julio. We need you, baby. You've been playing very, very well as of late with Edgar Martinez teaching you his secrets, okay? You just got to listen, right? Don't worry about the soccer girlfriend. You don't need her, okay? You need to worry about you, not worry about her. Worry about you, my guy. Things are going to get back on track. There's plenty of ladies out there, plenty of fish in the sea. Just because she played soccer and you guys are both athletes, okay? If she's going to do you dirty, okay, you got to move on, even though it hurts, okay? Top of the 9th, 4-4, Mariners and A's. Next up, Victor Robles. Come on, baby. Let's go. I agree, and again, I don't know, you could look at a lot of the guys that were transferring, but this is just me personally. I wish the Ducks got Cam Ward over Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel did great at Oklahoma, but after watching him at Oregon and that shot put delivery, I think that the Ducks would have been better off with a guy like Cam Ward if that was a guy that we actually had a chance of getting. If you ended up watching what he did for the U, obviously being on Washington State, you're going to get guys that are transfer from one school to the next. But Cam Ward would have been a better fit for our offense than Dylan Gabriel, even though I love lefties. But again, Dylan Gabriel was more like a Tim Tebow, not like a Michael Penix Jr. type that I thought we were getting. But we'll see as the season goes along if he can, create a little bit more smoothness with his throws instead of shot putting on every fucking throw like Tebow did. Top of the 9th, 4-4, Mariners and A's. Nobody on. 0-1 pitch to Victor Robles outside of the zone for a strike. Bullshit. 0-2 count. Come on. Come on. This ump is terrible. Tyler Ferguson on the mound. 30-year-old rookie, Tyler Ferguson. 0-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Victor Robles. Fuck. Next up, 0 for 3 with a run and a base on ball. Why the fuck are you leading off? Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Come on, Dan Wilson. In the 10-game stretch, the 1-9 hitter, the difference is about 10 at-bats. If you actually look at the at-bats there. You want 10 more at-bats for JP than Victor? Hello? That's why stats and analytics is so important. Every team should have a stat and analytical guy on there. .195 average, 9 homers, 32 ribbies for JP. And we normally are very confident in JP on the leadoff role, but after he got hurt, and even before he got hurt, he wasn't having a good year. You know, him and Julio and Polo were all batting like 150 in the first 2 months of the year. He hasn't recovered, mentally or physically. Pitch right down the middle for a strike, 1-2 count. And we want to make sure we have confidence. You want to have your best hitter in the leadoff spot. JP is one of the worst in the lineup. So why is he in the one hole? Because he's grandfathered in? Come on, Dan Wilson, make a fucking change. Top shelf, 30-year-old rookie says, hey, JP, hit the showers. 2 away. And JP has no aura or vibe or swag. You know, seems disinterested. Next up, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Julio, you want to really get on every Mariner's good side? You know what you do right here? You do something like this, okay? Tridents up. Bring that electricity. First pitch is low to Julio. 1-0 count. We got to find a way to win 5-4. Please, sports gods. The Astros fucking lost to the Reds and Ellie De La Cruz. Can we please win on a day the Astros lose? We haven't been able to capitalize on that all year. Astros are damn good. We get it. In there for a strike, 1-1 count. 1 for 2 with a single base on ball, a stolen base, a sac fly, and a run. Every fucking stat in the world but a home run. Come on. 260 average, 13 homers, 47 ribbies. Pitches in there for a strike behind in the count, 1-2. Another one. Seriously, I got 3 spears in my legs already. 1-2 pitch from Ferguson, the 30-year-old rookie, to Julio. Time is called. I don't know what Julio needs. What do you need, Julio? How many pictures do you need to do something magical? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no excuses. Come on. Come on, J-Rod. We didn't pay you $1 billion for this. Julio crushes it. Foul. Come on, baby. All right, this is the deciding factor right here, Maurice. What's going to happen? Are you going to come through? Give Julio the juice. And we're not talking steroids or PEDs. Come on now. Come on. Come on. 1-2 pitch. Julio strikes out. Even with 6 pitchers and Maurice on the screen, golly, you owe the Mariner Moose an apology, Julio. My God. Now we'll go to the bottom of the 9th, and hopefully the defense is strong. And we got to hope that we can hold them to nothing, and then we got to win 5-4 in 10 or 11. It shouldn't be this goddamn hard for the Mariners against bottom feeder teams like the Angels and the A's, but the A's have been better as of late. Same thing as the Angels, but these are winnable games. And that's the difference between, a team being able to finish strong and make the playoffs, or a team like the Astros that were ass at the beginning of the year and then have gotten hot at the right time. There is a difference, and we were really hoping as Mariner fans that we finally, and batting third, second baseman, Zach Geloff. Oh, let's go Mariners. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. Where are we at? We're at 38. We need 2 more likes to get to 40. If you're in the room and haven't smashed the like button yet, that's all we need. 2 more, and we're at 40. Let's go. We can do that, especially if the game is going into extras. No, I'm not freezing. Everything is still good. Normally when we freeze, it's me, and there's an issue with my internet or with the streaming platform, but yeah, might be an internet issue. Smooth as butter. One 0 count. We got Austin both in the game. Is this really the pitcher that we want in the game at this situation? Seems like everyone had a little bit of a freeze effect. Victor Robles picks up some trash and throws it into the crowd, whatever the hell that was. Get that shit off the field. Now the A's crowd, all 600 of them, right, are all now engaged in the game. What a shame, for the fan base and having shitty owners like the Mariners. And obviously they'll be moving to Vegas and they'll probably sell out every game. It's going to be very competitive there once they go there. You're going to get a lot of rich drunks, that they're going to be at the A's games in a few years. Bottom of the ninth, 4-4 Mariners and A's, both on the mound. Langeliers in the box. 2-1 pitch from both to Langeliers. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Let's go, baby. 256. Get that calculator out. Stacks on stacks. And a bunch of racks on racks with a little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Come on, baby. 3-1 pitch. Nice strike there on Shea Langeliers. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Count is full. Bottom of the ninth. 4-4 Mariners and A's. Nobody on, nobody out, and a full count to Langeliers, who ended up hitting a 3-run blast early in the game. And those hurt mentally, when you end up giving up a grand salami or a 3-run blast. Hard to recover from that. 3-2 pitch. Back, and the game is over. Shea Langeliers, double-decker, 2 home runs in 1 game. Fuck my life. Fucking A, fucking B, fucking C, fucking D, fucking E, fucking F. Unbelievable. How are we losing to the fucking Angels and the A's? And we only had like a 7 or 8% chance to make it, within the last couple days. But yeah, we're definitely not making the playoffs this year. Still going to do every single game to my ability to the end of the season. But again, if you can't beat the games, and the teams that you should, this is the type of shit that happens where you end up being great at the beginning of the year and then you fade late and you stop taking teams, like this for granted. And then Shea Langeliers ends up, doing this. Oh, you fucking kidding me, man. And the Astros even lost today to help us a little, right? The Reds and Ellie De La Cruz. And of course, Shea Langeliers, I give him the compliment on how much I love this jersey combo and batting helmet combo. And he says, thank you, O. I really appreciate that. Not only will I take that compliment, I will also hit 2 fucking home runs and get 4 out of the 5 runs for my team and win the game. How about that? Shea Langeliers decided to give NWSF and the Mariner fans the big boot. How dare you? And I thought, you know what? Maybe we'll have a chance against the A's today. Apparently not. And that's how all Mariner fans are at this position now. Oh, brutal, man. Way to rip my fucking heart out. Unbelievable. We couldn't even get it to the 10th and lose in the 10th. We couldn't even get it to the 11th. And it still would have been heartbreaking then. But fuck, man. Just our luck, huh? Barf. I mean, it's one thing to actually have to deal with the Ducks being bad, even though they won game 1, 24-14 against Idaho. Now I got to deal with another one of my favorite teams with the Mariners, like this. Being a Pacific Northwest sports fan is one of the hardest things to be, because again, there's a lot of heartache and there's a lot of heartbreak, and it takes 3, 4, 5 years to build up a team good enough to be championship worthy. And sometimes we win it all, sometimes we lose in the championship. But man, I was not expecting Shea Langeliers to punch me in the mouth twice. But I still rock the gear, and I still got love for my teams. Just not what we expected. And why did we have Austin Voth in the game? I mean, if we were really serious about it, we should have brought out Andres Munoz, right? Or Troy Taylor. Why the fuck are we bringing? See, these are 3 big errors by Dan Wilson where it makes me feel like I'm dealing with Scott Service. Bringing in Mitch Garver with bases loaded, bringing in Mitch Haniger late in the game with guys on base, and then not bringing in Troy Taylor or Andres Munoz. My God. Really? I guess that's life. Love you, Britt. Oh, brutal. Mother sucker. He said, man, this is bad. Yeah, it is. Mother sucker. Yeah. We can all be depressed with our teams, I guess, all together. Ah, man. Heartbreak, heartache. I gotta go walk my dog. I gotta eat some dinner. I don't even know what to say. Unbelievable. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. I mean, I think that's the best thing that we can ask for now. Can we get to at least 40 likes? You know, can we at least do that for your boy? We can get some A's fans in here and smash that like button. We're at 38. We need to get at least 2 more likes to hit 40. I know some of y'all got some backup accounts. Man, unbelievable. Man, unfucking believable. I think Dan Wilson actually did a pretty good job in his first few games. I've only seen bad decisions in 2 games out of all the games so far. You know, but today, 3 bad decisions. Like, we have Scott back in there again. And I'm never going to say anything horribly about Dan because he's changed the overall vibe for the most part. But again, it's up to the players, you know, to be able to do a job. But again, you have to put in the right players at the right time. So Dan does get the blame. I like you. I love you, Dan. But you have fucked up a couple times, you know, with bad decision making in clutch moments. It's one thing if you want to bring in Haniger or Garver, you know, in a non-crucial moment, fine. But not with bases loaded. You're going to put in Garver and then Haniger later when we need a big clutch base hit. And then when we got Troy Taylor and Munoz available, oh, let me bring in Austin Voth, said no one ever. Jesus. Brutal, 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 brutal. Brutal. Well, I'll be here tomorrow. And I'll be here on Wednesday. And hopefully we can end up winning 2 out of 3. You know, even if we're eliminated from the playoffs, or it looks like it, you know, I'm still going to be doing a lot of the Mariner games all of September. Obviously, we're going to be doing the A's tomorrow, the A's on Wednesday. We're going to be doing Chiefs and Ravens for the NFL kickoff on Thursday, Eagles and Packers in Brazil on Friday, Ducks and Boise State on Saturday, and then we'll probably figure out what's going on Sunday with the football. And then on Monday, we have Monday Night Football. And then Tuesday, next week, will be probably the next time we do a Mariners game. 69 wins, 69 losses. Me and Reflect thought, you know what? This might be the Mariners' year. We might be pretty good. I predicted 90 to 95 wins. He predicted 100 to 105. And damn, we were both wrong. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Well, Dan is to blame in these last couple games because it's decision-making. You have to be able to put in the right players at the right time. The players still need to do a job. But again, you don't want to put in a bad player in a clutch situation. You know, that's all about being a good manager and strategy. So you have to understand, you know, we have to make sure we're calling out, you know, the players and the managers when they fuck up. We just can't give someone a free pass because they're likable. You know, we have to be real. You have to be honest, you know, and some guys are going to be good, right? And some guys are going to make mistakes. And that was a mistake on Dan, you know, and again, we still might have had the same situation happen with another guy. It still could have been a strikeout or a pop-up or a ground out. But again, when you got a guy that's sitting in the dugout the whole game and who's a 165 hitter, bases loaded, crucial part of the game, you literally want anybody up to bat but him. And then you put that guy in. You know what I mean? So you have to understand it's strategy also. You know, baseball is not just, hey, throw these guys out there and hope for the best, even though Scott Service did that a lot, you know. But again, I think Dan is a good manager, but the last couple games has made some bad decisions. And you have to be honest. You know, you have to make sure you call a spade a spade. You can't give a free pass just because a guy is likable and is more likable than Scott Service. He fucked up the game for us. And again, you know, the players have to end up doing, you know, the plays, and they have to make the plays, you know, but also there is a strategy involved. Otherwise, there wouldn't be managers or coaches. The players would just be running out there. Brutal. Unbelievable. Well, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. I appreciate you guys. Final score, A's 5, Mariners 4. And we'll be back live tomorrow. And I believe the matchup is a little bit later. Take a quick look. We're at 40 likes. We can get some A's fans to show some love. And then the next 2 games are going to be, all right, we're going to be doing Mariners and A's at 6:30 Pacific tomorrow. First pitch is 6:40, and the same thing on Wednesday. And then tomorrow, we're going to have Luis Castillo on the mound, I believe, against JT Ginn. And on Wednesday, we are going to have George Kirby versus Sears. So we'll see how it goes. But I appreciate every single person that has liked, donated, commented, shared. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Go Mariners till I die. Go M's.